Ladies, gentlemen, and cyborgs, welcome to Voidstar Lab. Oh no, I kicked my desk. Yeah, today we have something super special. We're revisiting an old project. The project I really should be revisiting right now is the Singularitron smartwatch, which we worked on Monday. That's going to be the subject of the next episode, which hopefully should be out. I hope it's out Sunday, but it'll probably be out Monday. But today we're going to be redoing, not quite redoing, we're going to be revisiting the $18,000 oscilloscope. This is going to be an experience. Let me tell you that. If you haven't seen I'll explain what the hell I'm talking about in a second. But oh wait, my lights aren't on. Hang on 1 second. I need to log into my shelf so I can turn my lights on. Let's see, 192.168, blah, blah, blah. There we go. See, I'm building internet projects now. Woohoo! Yeah, so right before we moved to Colorado, the last project we did was this, well, we took this Keysight and sent us this really, really expensive oscilloscope, and well, I messed it up. I put a bunch of RGB lights in it. I put a bunch of water cooling in it. That project was, well, that pushed me. Getting that thing done before we moved pushed me to my absolute limit. The fact that project came together at all, let alone came out looking nice, is nothing short of miraculous. So, a couple things happen here. First, immediately after we finished that project and filmed that episode, we packed everything in the van and we started heading out to Colorado. Somebody asked, let's see here, who asked? That's odd. Someone asked where in Colorado. We're in the suburbs of Denver. Oh right, here you go, Carter Cole. Let me collect my thoughts here. All right, so I was in a state of very deep burnout and sleep deprivation when we finished this. So I don't actually remember what shape it ended up in. I remember the LEDs. I remember the LED tape had some problems. I know that there were some issues with the liquid cooling. Oh right, so because we had to leave in such a hurry, I didn't have time to drain it properly. What we're supposed to do. I'll explain. I'll show you in a second. But basically, what you're supposed to do is really tear the thing apart and make sure to dry everything out. Right? You don't want to have any liquid in the system while you're transporting it. And I did. And this is double bad because I used soft tubing and. Well, you'll see the consequences in a sec. Carter Cole, thank you so much for kicking us off with a super chat. I appreciate the butt emoji. Very nice. So. By the way, if my audio is having problems, please let me know. There is a reason why I'm using the headset instead of my usual mic. So if we're having any issues, please, give me the 411. 401? I don't know. Anyways, yes, the butt. It is a butt emoji, Evan. Yeah, it's a peach. Get the hell out of here. No. What's the point of emoting a fruit? No one eats fruit. The headset mic is... sorry, yeah, Shane McNamara points out the headset mic is not as good. I agree. So, Carter, thank you so much for the $5 super chat again. So let's switch over to our... bench cam, and it's... Where's the bench cam? Where's our camera? Oh, right, I have to turn it on, don't I? There we go. It does help if you turn it on, doesn't it? Wow, this angle is terrible. That's what I get for trying to film an episode. We had to very quickly switch between bear with me 1 sec. We had to very quickly switch between filming an episode and setting up for a stream. So, things got a little hairy. Speaking of things, today's episode, today's stream is sponsored by Things. They're a place where, well, it's a website where you can get all kinds of printable and editable 3D models for all kinds of projects. So if we do any 3D modeling, we're going to upload it to Things and hopefully even try out their augmented reality system. Let's see if this works. We don't want... not easy to switch between these. Okay. Oh, we're not in focus here, are we? Wow, this is we're really firing on all cylinders today. Focus button, where is it? There it is. Awesome. Okay. So, without further ado, let's bring in the victim. Well, first, let's get this here so people know who pay the bills. What happened here? The angle used to be so much better, and now it's all weird. Oh, there we go. Don't worry, we'll be going at full productivity soon. Ah, there we go. Excellente. Okay. So yeah, let's show you the victim. Here's Quagsire. Quagsire is going to be very important in this build. You can see I'm even wearing the shirt because we're doing water cooling today. It's a water type Pokemon, you know. All right, we got some supplies. But, yes, let's bring out the victim. Oh, there it is. Ah, here we go. Yeah, check it out. It's the the Pimp Scope MLG-42069. The world's first and hopefully only MLG pro gaming oscilloscope. So, yeah, we've got so this is this is like a top-of-the-line oscilloscope made by Keysight. Incorporated. Let's switch us over to our overhead view. Yeah, so this is a top-of-the-line oscilloscope made by Keysight Inc. And and I've painted it. I've put LEDs all over the place, and I have rigged it up to the super sexy water cooling system. And you can see that the liquid cooling system is, the loop is vinyl tubing. This is a soft line. It's a soft line loop. And the reason why I did that is because soft line liquid cooling is, it's very easy to put together. It's very fast. And this is important because I didn't have a lot of time to build the project. The problem, there are a number of problems with soft tubing. The first, it doesn't really look it doesn't look as good as it could. But also, place this down, if the tubing if you have to make a very sharp bend with the tubing, let's get this over here. If you have to make a sharp bend with the tubing, it'll kink, it'll collapse. I'm not kink shaming here. It just means that the water is not going to be able to pass through. So you have to put a spring inside the tubing to keep the walls from collapsing, to keep it from kinking. Problem was, I thought I could just go to Micro Center and get one, but I couldn't. They didn't have them. Apparently no one uses soft tubing anymore. So this happened. Look at that. The ant-kink coils rusted. So that's why you haven't seen this oscilloscope at all. This liquid cooling system is rusted out. It's no longer usable. So I figured if we are going to start over, might as well, try to do it right. Yeah, this is pretty bad. It's about as bad as it can get. I don't know. I didn't expect this to happen for two reasons. First off, I thought the springs were stainless. I thought they were plated. But on top of that, the liquid coolant should have rust inhibitors, and this stuff didn't. This liquid coolant that I used, this View stuff, is cursed. It is the liquid coolant of the devil. So we are going... Wiggle 1000 says it looks like sausages with grill lines. It does. So yeah, all this needs to go. This system has a number of other problems too, and we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look into those too. So Whoop. We're going to be replacing this vinyl tubing with hardline tubing. And now that I'm taking a closer look at these heat sinks, or at these water blocks, I really hope this is gonna fit. So we're gonna test that first. So I bought a bunch of these liquid cooling fittings. This is only 12. We need 14, but I have some spares left over from building my PC. So we are going to first take the system apart, do some scrubbing and cleaning. We're going to replace all of these vinyl hose barbs with these compression fittings. There's one we're not gonna be able to finish the system today. Pezza, thanks a lot for the $5 super chat. Notice me, senpai. Consider yourself noticed. So we're not going to be able to finish this project today. If you're waiting until the end for that, I'm sorry, because I need to. I'm waiting. There's a three-way. There's a three-way piece that I need to help fill it, because as people pointed out correctly during the initial episode, I didn't fill the reservoir up all the way. I forgot that when you're doing a horizontal reservoir, you need an extra high fill port so you can bring the water level all the way up to the top. So we're not going to be able to finish this today, but we'll see how far we can get. This brings us to our other problem with the system, and that is that I can't actually open this up. Putting this thing together was a one-way trip. You can see that the tubes pass through these grommets on top, and well, I can't pull the back off very far without those. So we're also going to have to cut this open. We're gonna have to cut some slots in here so that we can actually assemble this thing properly. I really ran out of time to do proper engineering. Yeah, so that is what's on the agenda today. We're going to open it up. We're going to scrub the system out. We're going to get rid of all this. We're going to get rid of all the crap, and then we are going to set up our new fittings and just see how far we can go in running hardline tubing. If you've never run hardline tubing before, it looks really cool and it's fairly easy. The reason why I'm using a headset today instead of my usual mic, by the way, the mic we usually use, if you're curious, is this voice recorder. We have a Zoom voice recorder, and that's what I use because it's got 120 degree field of audio? I don't know. Anyways, we can't use that because we are going to be using a hot air gun to heat up the tubing so we can melt it. And if all you would be able to hear is a hot air gun if this is going on. H4 asks, can't you just cut the tubing? Oh, we will, with gusto. Let me assure you. Before we dive in, let's take a quick look at the chat. Let's see what folks are talking about here. Oh, Jay says we're gonna do hardline tubing today. Then we sure are. That's the plan. Nick Sue points out this thing needs serious help. You have no idea. The LED tape is also busted. I don't know how I managed to mess up LED tape. It's already done. All I had to do is solder it together. And DJ Maynema. Oh, that was it. I nearly did a bit of a Freudian slip there. Asks, was there water inside when you put it aside? No, we drained it, but it's basically, in order to fully dry out a liquid cooling system, you have to completely disassemble it, like down to the water blocks. Didn't have time for that, so then's the breaks. Sean Lewis says, that's why I use mineral oil and not water. I would love to do a fully immersed build in mineral oil. Basically, instead of pumping water through a closed, for everyone else, like an immersion system is basically, instead of using heat sinks and stuff, you put the entire computer in a tank of mineral oil or some other high dielectric material, and you just let the liquid itself flow through and around the electronics. I remember I used to have problems with hard drives, but that's not an issue anymore because now everything's SSD. Oh, that would be great. You end up with a computer that weighs like 300 pounds. Let's take a look at one more, and then we'll get down. Then we'll get down to boogie. The streams. Oh, right. So the stream replays are paid. So my patrons get access to all the stream replays. You can become a patron easily. It's patreon.com/Zack Freedman. You don't even need to be on any of the tiers. Yeah, you don't even need to be on any of the tiers. Like, donating anything will get you access to Patreon. In part, it's so that I could Oh, ablative kitten. I'll get to you in a second. Yeah, in part it helps pay for the show and pay for ridiculous projects like this. But also, YouTube doesn't draw a distinction between recorded streams and regular videos. And recorded streams are always going to have fewer views than regular videos. So every time I put up a stream and kept it public, YouTube would show fewer people my videos for like 3 weeks. It was a real problem. So, Ablative Kitten made an excellent point. I should get some lapel mics for stuff like this. The issue isn't the lapel mic, because I actually use one for recording my usual episodes. The issue is how long the cord is. I didn't want to run an extra long cord because, again, we're going to have hot objects going on here. I want to make sure there's nothing to tangle up, nothing to nothing to hurt anything, or nothing that it can knock a heat gun off the table and onto my foot. And the last thing. Let's see. Anne asks. Anne says, "Hope it's not corroded inside the blocks." Me too. Blanana M asks, "Oh, let's do one more. Hi, how are you and your 3D printer doing? 3D printers are fine. I'm Gucci. We're gonna try the 3D printer cam later. I dropped the resolution. We'll see if it congests the entire network. Oh, I better not have to charge the headset, Devin. All right, enough messing around. Let's dive into this. Let's dive into this. So let's figure out our plan of attack first. Ooh. I love having everything on like hinges and arms and things. Yeah. Also, I've got my coffee. It was kind of a late night. Oh, it was such a late night. Yes, I did DDoS my own network. It happens. Okay. So let's drop this down. All right. So let's get our tools together. First, we're going to need some paper towels, and we're going to need some cleaning supplies. Hope this should work. We don't have to get this. We don't have to get this spotless because the first thing I'm going to do is run some. First thing I'm going to run through the system before we actually put coolant in it. Later, of course, is it's going to be loop cleaner. I use this stuff called Primo Chill makes it. It's some sort of like. Let me get this down here. Like stream prep, like loop prep or something of the sort. Yeah, so we're going to use that to clear it out, but we're going to want to get rid of most of these chunks. This fluid looked really cool. It was the Primo Chill View fluid that like it's rheoscopic, so you can see the swirls and you can see the see the coolant like swirling and whatnot. It was very cool. But it turns out to be really bad for your system. Hopefully we don't have to disassemble the water blocks, because I don't actually know if that's possible. But if we do, we'll give them a little scrub, give them a little toothpaste. Don't actually use toothpaste to scrub your water blocks. By the way, it can scrape off the plating. Yeah. Beef Ingot points out from every overclocker I've ever seen, the prettier the fluid, the worse it works. Yeah, I feel like most of that is because the fluid that stands out is like rheoscopic, or it like you can see the swirls, or it's opaque. It's got something else that sets it apart, and the reason why that sets it apart is because it makes it worse. That said, like, I see a lot of people like shaming others for using stuff like that on like Reddit, but like, if you're just like, filling up your computer with it for like a showpiece, right? That's fine. Like, it was fine for this. It only had to last long enough to film the episode. Oh no! Richard Van Leesum says, any idea when the 3-board models are going up? 404. I forgot to put them up. I have so many things going on right now. There is a tremendous amount afoot. So let's leave this heat gun over here. Let's get all our equipment together. All right. So first thing, wait, where are my pliers? Where the hell are my pliers? first thing we're going to do is, I think, disassemble this. Oh, wait, what the hell? Why did I put them in here? Oh, by the way, you guys see this giant, you guys see that, this giant dehumidifier in there? Oh. Yeah, we were, something funny's been going on here in the 3D printer closet. It's been getting too humid. It reached almost 50%. So I bought myself a really powerful humidifier, and now it's down to 19% humidity, which is perfect. Yeah, I haven't checked the reservoir yet, but I would imagine it's filling up. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. Brooke, why'd you take my ratchet driver? Why would you do that? I trusted you. I trusted you, Brooke. Alright, so yeah, let's disassemble this and go for it. We're also going to need a knife. Ah. Yeah. I'm experimenting with a new camera angle. Julian Bloomberg asks, do you have to give the scope back to Keysight, or is it mine now? So originally, I thought I was going to give the scope back, which is why I finished details in it that didn't appear in the episode. But they didn't want it back, for some reason. No, this is my scope now. Look at me. This is my scope now. Let's scoot over here. Come on. Still wrestling with my equipment a little. So I've got these little fittings here. I guess there's no real reason to save the tubing, right? Because like even if we were to salvage it, it's not like we'd want to reuse the same tubing on a different project because it's been stretched out of shape. So let's just cut it. This is one of the downsides of using soft tubing. The hardline tubing, like as long as it's fine on the inside, you can just keep scraping, you just keep like cleaning it out and using it forever. Well, yeah, we will definitely get to bending some. We'll definitely get to bending some tubing. I love bending hardline tubing. I think it's so satisfying. Like that moment where it softens up and just goes from being like tough and rigid to just going. It's magic. Magic. Jeff Wally says, just send the EMF shield back in the box. The EMF shield, so the episode isn't totally accurate. It's not that I ripped out, I didn't so much rip out the EM shielding. I more reused it to hold parts of the thing together. I more reorganized it. It certainly is not a very effective EM shield anymore, though. Let's put these over here. Let me get myself a parts dish. Let's get myself a little dish to throw these guys in. Quagsire, you keep an eye on those, all right? Yeah, so this is going to need some serious scrubbing. I'm going to remove this to make my life easier. Somebody asked what model the pump and reservoir are, and I can't tell you because I just bought the cheapest one on Amazon, and yeah, it's pretty crappy. It's actually better than I expected for a $15 or $20 reservoir. I don't think it was so cheap because it was crappy. I think it was cheap because no one wants a 360 millimeter long reservoir. Oh my! I really liked this project. This is one of my favorite things I've ever built. Before doing, yeah, I never really got, back when I was doing product development and prototyping and stuff, I never really got a lot of jobs to do silly like over the top builds. I didn't really get enough of those. Those ended up being more of my personal projects, and I didn't have access to very much stuff for those. Look how fat this radiator is too. I way overdid it with this one. It turns out that a lot of parts are cheap, not because they're small, but because no one wants them. Go figure. Oh, hang on a second. I've got my Discord on the other window, and that should be over here, so I can actually see it. Come on, Discord, do your thing. Tebla asks, can I use an Android... Oh, wait, I should probably get myself back on camera before we do this. My secondary monitor is just not secondary monitor is just too small to have everything on it, so hopefully we don't have to wrestle with it too much. I'm just going to set this little webcam up over here so we can keep an eye on things. Tebla asks, could we just set up an Android emulator on desktop and a webcam to demo the Things AR thing on stream in the future? I don't know, actually. I've never run a third-party app on the Android emulator. I've only run stuff I wrote myself. I suppose we could try. I'm sure they would know. Yes, Daniel Alfonso says, what a huge amount of innuendo. I don't know what you're talking about. So a woman walks into the bar, and she orders some innuendo. So the bartender gave her one. Yeah, there you go. Get out of here. So, let's see. We're done over here. Unfortunately, when we're working on the side, it's kind of hard for me to show you what's going on. Let me turn this down. Maybe that'll help. What I want to prevent is any stress from. Yeah, I don't want any stress on this part here. Let's switch to the overhead view. Yes. Yeah, so we've got our overhead view. Okay, so yeah, what we want is to avoid putting any stress here. So let's find something that I don't care very much about to lift this up. Let's use the holder from the voice recorder, because the voice recorder is never in its holder. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be awkward getting in here. This is going to be fun. I think I can open this up, like I can unlatch it, but what a pain in the butt. Okay. Someone pointed out BlueStacks. BlueStacks is another one. I need to revisit that. I used BlueStacks a very long time ago when I worked for a third-party app store as an intern, and the performance was awful. It was pretty much unusable. So hopefully it's improved since then. I should probably be throwing these tubes out, shouldn't I? I don't see any pressing need to keep them. Let's get this out of here. The water cooling the pie was great. I'd like a water-cooled pie. Ooh, that doesn't look healthy. Ugh. Let's enable our auxiliary camera here. Look at. Oh, sorry for making you vomit. Look at that. That's the rheoscopic crud built up in the fitting. I am going to cut the tubes. I'm going to cut the tubes open. H4. We are going to hack our way in. We're going to hack our way in the hard way. Yeah. Let's just do this. Get my trauma shears out, because we're traumatizing this. Look at how sloppy the electronics are over here. I'm a little embarrassed. This project got a bit sloppy near the end when I started running out of time. Okay, so let's take this out to release the tubes. That's not gonna work. All right. I guess we're going in. Hold my signal traces. We're going in. So let's see. We are going to need my ratchet driver. I wonder where the ratchet driver went. Does anyone know where my ratchet driver went? While my ratchet driver materializes, let's figure out what size screws we got. Oh, I nailed it in the first try. Because I'm a professional. Hey Brooke, if you're listening, I need my ratchet driver. Oh, there it is. Yep, that exact one. There we go. So let's take this thing apart. Oh my god. This is a yes. Yeah, this is going to be as much a surprise for me as it is for you, because I don't really remember what state I left this. Like, I was really in a condition when I finished this project. So we'll see how it ends up. If the focus on this camera keeps messing up, I'll go into the settings and tell it to knock that crap off. A bunch of numbers says release the tubes. I agree. Yes. Oh, there's going to be so much shmoo flying around here. If you're feeling like releasing some shmoo, you are going to be satisfied. So what screws have I missed here? What why isn't this opening? Or did I get this backwards in some way? I don't remember much about how this project came together. I suppose I could have, like, now I'm thinking about it, I should have just watched the video of me putting it together and just played it in reverse, so that I could see how to take it apart. So I don't think this part over here is stuck. What the hell's going on here? Oh boy, this is the type of exciting maker content that you guys all came to watch. Let's get this out of here while we're thinking about it. Where's that screw? Imagine if we can't even. Imagine if the part we get stopped at is like literally taking it apart. Oh my gosh. So I think the front, does the front come off? I remember wedging this thing back to. Yeah, this is what happens when you do major parts of your project while so tired that you're confabulated. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's unplug this. Okay. Things are... Hopefully things, behave nicely here. Alright, good. We've got the wires to deal with. I'm a little worried about disconnecting these, because I don't remember what goes where. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna grab myself a marker, and we're gonna color code these so I can unplug them. I'm just putting a mark of the same color on the connector and on the socket. Make it unambiguous. Get this out of here. We've got power for the Pi Pico. We got power for the Pi Regs. I don't remember if this is a Pi 4. I think I might have used a Pi 4 because it's expensive. Project just hits different when you've got patrons. Okay, so this should be everything we need. Oh, let's unplug that. This should be everything we need to pull this out. So let's get at our wires. Maybe we should pull these cables out one by one. Let's try not to block the action here. Oh my gosh, this project is such a cluster. How did this even get in here in the first place? How's it even physically possible? These connectors don't fit through the grommet. I'm so confused right now.
So this is going to present a problem too when we put this back together. Might have to rearrange the cables a little bit on the way back. Cross that bridge when we have to. Come on. Let's try to get this one out first. Got a bunch of these little JST, these 2-pin JST connectors from some project a long time ago, so I'm putting them in everything, even where they don't belong. All right, so this, got them out of the grommet. Let's pull them through the grommet holder thing. Oh, that's bad. I pulled it straight off. We're gonna. Oh my. Oh, that's a high quality part right there. Maybe we should be more gentle. Tebla asks, so what makes an $18,000 scope cost $18,000? Is it more accurate or does it do more things? It's a little of both. In order to make a device that's so precise, I think this is like a 1 gigahertz bandwidth and really crazy deep sample depth. Basically, in order to make an oscilloscope with specs like this, all the parts have to be like super well super precise and carefully tested and calibrated. And on top of that, there aren't a lot of places that would buy a scope like that. Like that's more for like a testing facility, a research lab. Places that generally have a lot of money, and you aren't going to put one of these on everyone's desk, right? You're only going to give it to the folks that need it. So it's, you're not exactly. It's part of the cost of doing business. It does have a number of other interesting features. This one has a full programming interface. It saves tons of data. You can connect it to a network to keep an eye on things. Blade of Kitten says, Zack Freedman, didn't you crimp those cables and connectors after you thread the wire through? No, that would have been the smart way to do it, but I didn't. I really can't express the mental state I was in when I brought this project to an end. Okay, so let's get this part out of here. You can see like all the bodges and hacks that I did on the LED strips because they were broken in a lot of places. I think at some point I plugged them in backwards or put too much voltage through them, and I fried them. So let's lay this guy down. Oh, this is grody. Oh, that's nasty. Oh man. Ugh, this is filthy. All right, so let's go to work on this. I could, if you guys are curious, I could show you around some of the hacks and parts of this project that I just didn't have room for in the video. If you guys are interested in that, or if you just want to see me, or if you just want me to move on and get to the liquid cooling part faster, then I am okay with that too. But yeah, there's a lot of hacking had to go into this that just was too nitty gritty for the video. I like the cable wraps though. This came out pretty well. Not perfect. If I had more time, I would have. I mean, maybe now I can. I wouldn't have reused the same cables that were already there. I would have cut new ones to the precise length. That way they wouldn't look so weird and wobbly. Usually you want to cut your cables down to the exact length. Actually, usually I like to use an extension cable for my PC builds. I like to use like a loomed and sheathed and loomed and all that extension cable, and then just run the regular cable down, out the back. But I couldn't do that here because there's no room. Still, I think this is a nice touch. I wish I had more of this bronze silk filament. Let's see what's going on in El Chatterino. Also, you can get my attention with the super chat and also help support the channel. Forbidden Milk says Victor Koyanov. Yes, indeed. Hey, it's a little whooper. It's your boy. Let's see, one more second. Agamemnon 2, before your videos, I didn't even realize scopes could get hot enough to need water cooling. I never said that. I never said it needed water cooling. Oh, that looks bad. Is there still... I think there might still be a little liquid in there. Oh, this could get kind of grody. What's our plan of attack for this one? I can cut it open, and maybe we can try to just siphon it out with a pipette. Let's get this out of here. Come on, out you go. Yeah, this is where things could get nasty. So, yeah, where's my paper towels? So, in case things go terribly wrong, let's lay down some paper towels to catch any spills. This is the fun part of liquid cooling. Oh man, liquid cooling system in my PC could use a little attention too. Could use a little tender love and care. Boop. Richard Van Leesum, thanks for the €5. Someone has to kick off the super chats, right? Thank you so much. Oh, I was pushing the wrong button. That's why it wasn't working. Look at this disgusting brown crud. Oh my god. What have I done? What have I done? Alright. Oh, that is foul. Alright. Alright. I keep saying alright, but it's not. It's not alright. Davin Thompson says, pull it apart upside down. Yeah, but like, then you wouldn't be able to see anything. So let's cut this open with our trauma shears. I thought the spring would be more dissolved, but it's still there. But that's fine. We just need to get in. Ugh. I'm not sure it's algae. I think it's just. Oh right, I should explain what the hell I'm talking about. Peter Sassaman says algae. It's probably not. I think it's just rust. Let's give it a whiff. Waft. Doesn't smell like anything. Ace Archer, thanks for the $5 super chat. I dare you to send the scope in for professional calibration after you have it working again. I've thought about it. Actually, now, so Keysight Labs, right? Like the Keysight facility that does Keysight Labs, their YouTube channel, basically the place where this scope was from, is here in Colorado. It's in Colorado Springs. So at some point, I'd like to bring it back to. Keysight and see what they think about it. One sec. I'm going to nip off and grab a pipette and something to get this liquid into. Something to catch our fluids. That sounded disgusting. Catch our fluids. All right. I have plenty of plastic containers left over from parts. Beautiful. I'm not tasting it, Daniel Edwards. Daniel Edwards, I'm not tasting it. That's gross. But so let's let's clean this out. Oh hell, man, that's disgusting. I'm gonna put this over here. But it is working slowly. It's gonna take a little bit, but I definitely think it's safer than just removing the tube with the crap still in it. Yeah, it's all rusty. Oh, what a pain in the butt. Big sip. Yes, dude, McDuder. I don't think it's actually as bad as it looks. I think like it's more rust deposits. Like there was a little liquid in there, but oh, never mind. Forbidden orange juice. Let's just say that not everything that Voidstar Lab builds is built to last. All right, so we have to remember that there's going to be liquid trapped in the water blocks, so we'll have to get that out. I just want to make sure that the water level is below the. Just want to make sure the water level is below the water block. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Ooh, I don't want to tip that over. Let's cut off the other one, and let's get the pipette down into the water block to, you know, start at the wrong end of the ice cream cone. Surprised no one said, "Oh, this is so disgusting. Take that thing off the screen before I leave." Yep, there we go. Look at all that. Yep, it was smarter to go this way. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, excellent. So our liquid level should be low enough, but I'm going to leave the paper towel there anyways. Oh, there's like the flecks of the crud. Oh, that one came off really easily. Anybody want a forbidden hot dog? Tebla, thanks so much for the 5 quid. I wanted to super chat 298786 IRR, but my VPN doesn't have a location in Iran. Thank you. I'm sure getting Iranian money delivered to my account wouldn't raise any eyebrows at the bank. But I really appreciate the super chat. Very generous. Thank you. Thank you very much. The face cam should stay on screen. Oh, not the face cam. Aww. No, I'm not ugly. I'm a handsome boy. My mom told me. So yes. Matt Card says Dr. Pimple Popper for PC modders. Couldn't have put it better myself. Let's get some more light on this foul, disgusting thing. Brooke loves disgusting stuff. She's probably like, oh, right now. She loves disgusting stuff. Yeah, this video turned out to be this stream is turning out to be a lot more disgusting than I expected. Not that I'm complaining. I hope, that's kind of what I'm going for with this stream. I don't want, kind of what I'm going for with the stream. I don't want it to be predictable. I always want it to, I always want you guys to have something new to see every time you tune in. Although I guess if it's gross, you guys will stop tuning in, and gals and people will stop tuning in. But I think this is fun. I think this is a nice mix up. Ugh. 5265060. Thanks for the $5. Kind of off topic, but what dehumidifier do you use? Looking at some since my basement says 45 to 50%. I'll need to look up if I remember it after I'm done with this. Oh, hell, man, that's disgusting. If I remember it later, I will let you know. It's actually working quite well. I can't give it I'm not going to give it like a full-on recommendation because I've only been using it for like a day. But it's reducing humidity by 30% in that closet. I hope the filaments haven't been damaged yet. Oh, this is so disgusting. It doesn't help that the coolant was kind of gross looking to begin with. So the coolant I wasn't intending to use like, you know, forbidden orange juice as coolant, right? Like the color on their website was called gold, and the picture made it look like gold, right? And this has a bit of like a gold theme going on. So I want it to look like there was like liquid gold, flowing through the pipes. But it didn't turn out to look like gold. It turned out to look like orange juice. I didn't have time to get any new coolant, so kind of had to deal with it. So let's see what's going on here. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything else trapped. I don't think there's anything else trapped in this itself. Let's cut this open, and this one's really, really rusted. Oh man. Still, I love case modding projects, even if it's not a PC. It's just really fun. I don't know. I'm just a child of the 90s and the 2000s, I guess. Built a computer. I've only actually built 2 computers. I built one when I was 13, and built one, you know, a few years ago. Ew. The one I built when I was 13 was like, oh, it was so edgelordy. Oh man, it was so edgelordy. You know that, you know that like if you're it's the 90 if it's like the 2000s and you want to be cool, it has to be red on black. It has to be. It's legally required. Aw, hell, man. Richard Van Leesum just learned about hot tub streams. Yes, the booby streamers. By the way, today's stream is sponsored by Things. I don't know why one reminded me of the other, but yeah, today's stream is sponsored by Things, the 3D website full of 3D printable models and I guess models that aren't like basically if it's 3D, you'll find it there, and the site loads really quickly and gives you this full 3D preview, and most importantly, doesn't make you watch an ad for 5 seconds before you download your files like a certain other STL downloading website. Yeah, use the link. You can use the link in my description to check out things.com, and it also lets them know that I'm awesome and that they should keep supporting our streams. But yeah, all of my projects are up there except for one. I realized that I never put up the. I'm gonna get this out of here because this is filthy. I never put up the three board, the little macro pad from the first stream. I never put that up, so that's going up soon, and be able to get all of that at things.com. And you can actually follow me on. I think you can follow me on things.com. You get like an email or something as I put up new things. All right. Okay, so we are going. Yeah. Ugh. Twist Neko points out they've never got ads on Thingiverse. Ad blockers are the best. That's true, but you still have to wait 5 seconds, as if you were looking at an ad. Oh my. Yeah, Thingiverse has issues. Oh my. Daniel, aka excellent point. I find it hilarious that Twitch has to pull a 4chan and create a containment category for the hot tub streams. Yeah, if you can't beat them, silo them, I guess. I don't, man. The opposition, like, I think, don't get me wrong, I think the hot tub streams are they're pretty unclassy. Don't get me wrong, like, they definitely make Twitch a little less classy. But some of the objections people have to them are just, like Western society has withstood a lot of things. I don't think people live streaming themselves playing video games from hot tubs is going to be the downfall of the degeneracy of Western civilization. Why isn't this loosening? Lefty loosey, righty. Oh, right. Hang on a second, because I don't have enough room to fully turn this thing around. There we go. Aw, hell, man, that's disgusting. Oh, that's looking nasty in there. Yeah, we're gonna have to tear these apart. Oh, the hot tub streams. They must be prunes by the time they're done for the day. Like, you stay in a hot tub for 5 hours, you're gonna have some skin problems. Brooke would know more about that. She's an esthetician. Oh, this is disgusting. Oh. Oh wait, you can't see it. Overhead camera, engage. Shift this over. Yeah, this is gross. Focus you. Yeah, ew. I'm gonna back this up. I don't think any. Why is it wobbling? That's weird. Sputnik NIC asks, "Where's my eye, Cyborg?" I haven't figured out a way to actually use it on stream yet, and it's like I wear it because I use it. It does look cool, but I think part of what makes it cool is that it's useful. And at some point I'm going to like try to get like chat or something on, so I don't have to keep looking over. But then again, I don't get to make eye contact with you guys. I have to figure out some use for it. Maybe it would be nice to be able to keep an eye on the cameras. That would be helpful. Let's grab another parts tray. So I can put these in. Yeah, this is kind of what I was worried about. Having to like go in and scrape everything out. The stream is going to be a bit shorter than usual because I have to finish. Ew, I've dropped it in. I have to finish making the next video because I have to have that done by the end of the month. Oh, whew. At least that came off easily. Oh, jeez. I thought I might have to like pry it or something. But I will try to make sure we do. I do want some truth in advertising. We will show at least some hardline tubing bending, no matter how badly things go. I am. Ew, David. Oh, hell, man, that's disgusting. Yeah. At least I don't see any oxidation on the water block itself. So at least we got lucky there. Like I'm seeing a lot of crud, but I'm not seeing any oxidation. Copper turns a distinctive bluish greenish patina. Let's try some alcohol. Let's try some alcohol. Scrub this thing off. Yeah, that's looking fine. I'm using alcohol because I can't really like keep it in. I'm gonna overspray it, and I want it to evaporate. And anything that isn't soluble in water here should be soluble in alcohol. There really shouldn't be. I guess there's coolant doesn't have to necessarily be water, although I think it is. I think it is a water-based coolant. All right, that seems about right. There's still a little bit of cruft, but I don't think it's gonna be improved. I think it's okay if there's a little bit of crud left, because when we run the loop cleaner through it, it'll clear out the crud. I just realized this camera isn't pointing at anything. So now let's get into this one. Ugh. Oh man. I guess like any of you in the audience who have a liquid cooled PC of your own, like ask yourself, when was the last time you opened up your water blocks to see what they look like inside? And I bet many of you are going to just take what I said and just bury it down there so you don't have to think about it. I would. Alrighty then. So a screwdriver. But Blake says, clean the O-ring, Zach. I haven't cleaned the others. I'm going to clean the other side afterwards. Yeah, it'll be easier to clean the other side when I'm done here, because I can clear off the desk. And then I don't have to worry about like stray flecks falling in places that they shouldn't go. We're gonna give the whole thing a nice clean along with the O-ring. I don't think we don't have to grease the O-ring up. I don't think that's gonna be necessary. We don't have any loops. Oh, look at you. Look at you, Twist Neko, with your all-in-one cooler. You're so far ahead of the game. You think all-in-one coolers don't get cruddy inside? Ew. Aw, ew. Get out of there, screw. Ew. Oh, this is so grody. Wow, amazingly, I thought we'd be just hemorrhaging viewers at this point, because people would be so grossed out, but glad you guys are troopers. I got some new tweezers. Check these out. Look at that wood grain. Oh, it's so classy. Ew. Oh, it's sticky. Oh, that's foul. I'm gonna put this over here. And there are 5 of these. Gross. Only 40% of the way through. Ew. Oh, what's Incendium or Cheap Death 96 asks, what's the alcohol? It is 98% isopropyl, or Yeah, 95%. It's a lot of maybe it's no wait. This is yeah, this is 99% left. Yeah, I use it for 3D printer. Ugh, gross. Victor Koyanov asks, what material is a radiator? I believe the bases are solid copper. They're just solid unplated copper, and the top is probably Delrin. These were also rather cheap. I really cheaped out on the liquid cooling parts for this build. The oscilloscope was there's a reason behind that, although I don't want to get into it. But yeah, honestly, like for the price, the quality of this crappy Amazon liquid cooling stuff is really high. I was surprised. Yeah, I think these are like Northbridge coolers, and the base is solid copper. Nobody really like cools their computers Northbridge anymore. I actually imagine a lot of PC modders now. PC Master Race doesn't even know what a Northbridge is anymore. It's one of the chips on the motherboard. Do they even have them? They even have separate Northbridges and Southbridges? Now, like, there's so many onboard peripherals. I don't even know. There's so many onboard peripherals, like. But yeah, back in the day, like your PC, like PCs would run hot enough that you could actually overheat your motherboard, not your processor, right, or your graphics card. You could overheat your motherboard itself, so you'd often liquid cool your motherboard. I know some people liquid cool their RAM. I've had like, you know, gaming and I've had gaming and fancy PCs for a while. I've never managed to get any RAM timings to work besides the default. I've never been able to overclock or retime RAM. It just makes the computer so unstable, even just a little bit. I've done some serious overclocking, but just can never seem to get the RAM timings different. Yeah, it's been a while since I overclocked this gaming computer because I'm not mining crypto anymore. And before you're like, oh, you're killing the planet. All right, concern trolls. I mined when the apartment got really cold. We'd use it as a space heater because it's 850 watts. Mining Bitcoin is the same efficiency as energy efficiency as using a space heater, and holy crap, that thing can kick out a lot of heat. Wiggle 1000 says if you need to overclock your RAM, something else is wrong. It's not really overclocking. Technically what you're doing is you're changing the timings. Technically what you're doing is you're changing the timings. If there's like a number. Basically, like the way the RAM works is like data is loaded onto it, sort of like. Basically, like you have a clock, sort of. Basically, like data is prepared, and then the computer pulls a switch, like it pulls a lever, and then all of that data is sort of queued up, gets loaded in. This is a very this is a very inexact way I'm describing this, but basically, if you change those values, you can get more. You can make sure that basically whenever it pulls that lever, all the data is ready, and you don't. And like if the RAM timings are correct, you don't waste any time waiting for stuff to load and unload. But it often makes the system unstable, and I've never managed to get it working. Ew. I don't think it matters. Frankly, I don't think it matters that as much anymore because RAM is just so friggin' fast. Like when I built my last computer, I think memory was, if I'm remembering right, DDR2 was DDR2 or DDR3 was brand new. Oh, what a pain in the butt. Twist Echo says, my first water cooling setup was the ultimate jank. A bent chunk of copper tubing zip tied to the CPU back in the Celeron days. Run through a swamp cooler. That's pretty sick. Swamp cooler is evaporative cooling. Basically, you're heating up a coolant and then spraying it. Like, it's probably water. You're spraying it out, or you're spraying water vapor on the radiator, and when it evaporates, it takes the heat with it. That's pretty sick. I remember back when I built my first PC. It was still fairly common to go to a junkyard and find radiators there. There are certain cars, like there's a certain model of Pontiac that had a fan, had a radiator almost the exact size and shape of, like, the off-the-shelf case modding radiators. Like, it perfectly fit a 180 millimeter fan. And that was pretty common. You go to the junkyard to grab yourself a radiator. You go to Petco to get yourself a pump. You'd go to a restaurant supply store to get tubing. And you'd go on XSPC or whatever to get yourself a water block. And oh man, yeah, back then, like, water blocks that had channels, water blocks that had channels milled into them, like these, that was hot stuff. Those were fancy, heavy. Like, we definitely didn't have, like, sort of like the micro, what do they call, like, micro showers or something, like the high-end coolers now. Instead of, like, passing water like this over it, instead forces it straight down so it showers onto the cold plate. Oh man. Yeah, there's some people making, back then there's people making Peltier, like Peltier, like thermoelectric cooling. You put a Peltier plate in between the radiator and the processor, and basically you put electric current through that, and it's sort of like, it drags the heat from one side to the other, I think. It can't actually do that because that's like a violation of the law of thermodynamics, but something like that. Yeah, oh man, that was cool stuff. That was cool stuff. Peter Sassaman says, a heat pump is more effective than a space heater. I see you too watch Technology Connections. Yeah, we didn't have any fancy stuff like that. Our previous apartment was quite crappy, I assure you. Hope that coughing is not doesn't have anything to do with the coolant. Oh man, imagine if I, like, poisoned myself with tainted liquid coolant from an $18,000 oscilloscope. That would just be great. Someone has to make a clickbait YouTube video about that. Oh yeah. This is the strange tale of a YouTuber who got anthrax from a tainted liquid cooling loop. What's that guy's name? He always does, like, the conspiracy. You decide for yourself. What's that guy's name? Technology Connections and Tech Ingredients. That is correct, Colin Hames. I should really not be drinking while I'm doing this, should I? Aiden Procopio asks, I never knew why you used a water block and didn't just gasket right onto the integrated heatsink. It's hard to make a good seal. On top of that, if you're doing a really serious water cooling loop, it's a good idea to actually pry off the integrated heatsink and mount the water block directly onto the bare die. I think it's worth the extra time and effort. So it looks like we're set here. This is looking decent. I don't want to bust out a wire brush because I think I might damage it. Ugh. Yeah, bust out the CLR. I think this is all right. Let me just. So I guess before I put this down, let me show you some of the stuff that I didn't. Let me show you some of the stuff that. Oh no, that's not what I want at all. That I couldn't show during the. What the hell happened here? Let me show you some of the stuff that I couldn't show you during the video. Oh wait, hang on a second. Stand by. I made a boo-boo here. Let's duplicate this guy. Switch to that, and I'm supposed to plug Skillshare, aren't I? Or not Skillshare. Jesus, I'm getting my wires crossed. Yeah, today's episode is sponsored by Things, the 3D printing. Wait, why don't I just? You can't. Oh, you guys can't see what the hell's going on my side. 1 second. Did I mention I'm a professional? Oh, for crying out loud. Just 1 sec. Ah, there we go. Perfect. And we're going to want my face cam over here. Close enough. So today's episode is sponsored by Thangs, the 3D printable, and generally hackable model warehouse. So yeah, if you're looking for your next 3D model, head to thangs.com. You use the link in the description and check it out. They have all kinds of stuff like useful stuff and boring stuff and stuff that I made. Most importantly, I post pretty much all of my projects on there, as well as all the things that I put in all my videos, all those top 10 lists. Almost all the stuff is on Things. Don't worry, I either get permission or it's Creative Commons. It's all okay. Yeah, the site loads really quickly. You can mess around with the the model in 3 dimensions. You can even use their new augmented reality feature. You can forward it over to your phone and see it in real life. It's pretty neat. Colin Hames says, keep doing that crap and Things is going to revoke their sponsorship. Heh. Oh, the autofocus is kind of a problem. Bear with me. Yeah. What? No. Why isn't this working? Stand by. 1 sec. I can turn that off real quick. Properties. Configure video. We're not going to mess around with the video anymore after this. I just don't want to piss off my viewers, because you guys are nice, and I don't want you to have to look at autofocus. Alright. I think it should be alright. Except I didn't focus it first. That would have been the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? Oh, this touchscreen. I don't like touchscreens. I'd rather use mouse and keyboard, but the mouse and keyboard's on that side. Configure out the video. Where's our focus? Is that doing anything? Is that doing it? Oh, that made it worse. What gives? This sucks. Oh my gosh. I think I'm taking damage from the forbidden sausage. I don't think I can actually turn autofocus off. I don't think it's not focusing close enough without the autofocus. It's only letting me switch between where we are right now and this. Oh, thanks, Alan Melling. Thanks for the $4.99 super chat for the excellent professionalism. Yes, I'm a professional content creator. Yeah. Yeah. Pardon me. I'm still kind of getting my sea legs. Still kind of getting my sea legs with regards to streaming and videos. Like, I've only been doing this for like 6 months or something. Anyways, bear with me on the autofocus. I'll try to make it worth it. So what I want to show you is, wow, this cable is tangled all over the place. So what I want to show you is right here, because in order to power the system, like in order to power all the like the Pi and whatnot, this is how I spliced it, and the Pi and the LED strips. This is how I spliced it in. So right here we've got a 5 volt. So right here we have a 5 volt boost regulator, and we have 5 volt buck regulator. Yeah, and this is what powers the Pi and stuff. And over here we have, I think it's a 12 volt. I think it's a 12 volt supply, and that's what powers the. Actually, I'm remembering this right. Maybe they're both 5 volts. Would that make sense? I don't think that would make sense. One of them's 3 volts, one of them's 5 volts to power different parts of the system. So I had to splice those in because the built-in voltage rails here have they have a current sensor on them. If you draw too much current, like if it I guess they have the spec programmed in, and if I drew too much current from the built-in power supply from the voltage rail, it would shut the system off. I'd imagine, like, it seems to independently monitor every one of the rails, which I think is pretty. I've never seen that before. It's pretty neat. There's only 2 rails. There are only 2 voltage sources that weren't monitored this way. One of them was the 12 volt that went to the fan, and the other was There was 12 volts that went to the built-in fan, and the other was, I would imagine it's for diagnostics. But yeah, so I had to splice into that. So that's what these are powered off. All the stuff that I added, for the most part, is powered off of the connection that used to go to the fan. I just think that was funny. So yeah, you've got these little boards tacked in here, and yeah, you can see all the wires running under it. Getting all the things to fit here wasn't fun. Anyways, like you can see the power. So the power supply is mounted at this angle, and you can see these little marks right here where that's because the power supply used to be where the cutout was. It was turned 90 degrees, it was in the cutout. So I had to rearrange all the internals. So that's what I was talking about when I said that like the ESD shielding just got rearranged. I had to like cut this part out, and I reused it in another area. This got turned 90 degrees, and luckily the cables were long enough. It's just a fun part. You can also see over here, this board here that drives the display. I had to cut the corner off to let the heat sink or let the water block fit. I just hack the corner straight off. It's all kinds of doofy stuff like that. Oh, and if we look over here, let's check over here. Yeah, focus please. If you look over here, you see those spring terminals. That's how the new power switch goes into where, like the power key switch goes into where the old power button was. I just removed the old button, and I found a terminal block that just happened to fit in its footprint and soldered it on there. Yeah, this was quite the hack. Let me assure you, and it still has like $100 of those RGB encoders that I still haven't managed to hook up. I'm not sure that's ever going to happen. I think one day I'll salvage them. Okay, enough of this. Let's switch back to our whichever view this is, and let's get this guy out of here. We'll bring it back in later, but for now, we got to do some cleaning. We got to do some spring cleaning, some thing cleaning. Scrub all the crap out of here, and then we can start. Oh, we've one more. We have to do the Raspberry Pi one too. One thing at a time. Actually, let's do that next. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Then I have to admit I made a mistake, and I'm not sure I'm allowed to do that. Where did I put it? Here we go. Okay, so before we turn this over, the reservoir is still going to have some, cripes. The reservoir is still going to have some liquid in it, so it's turned into a tissue paper walrus. Too much, like in Futurama. Did I mention that I'm a professional? Tebla says, on a scale from 1 to 10, how scared were you that you might kill an $18,000 device? I would say I was about an 8 out of 10 scared that I would kill the device, and I was about a 12 out of 10 scared that I would not be able to finish the episode on time. Maker Wayne asks, are those diodes a full bridge rectifier? Yeah, I think they were. I think there was at least one full bridge rectum fryer in there. So let's turn this over. I'm not seeing anything seeping through, so I think we're in business. This is awkward. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to hold it like this. Okay then. Yeah, it doesn't fit nicely on the table. Pardonnez-moi. All right, so let's unscrew this. Yeah, this was I just downloaded this. I downloaded this part of this from a certain 3D printer website that won't be named, and I could remove the bottom cap. That is correct, but I forgot. Yeah, so we've got some stuff, some 3D printed elements here. We got some stuff. Yeah, great job. We got some 3D printed elements here, and we have this laser cut part. And I really need to get a new laser cutter. I mean, more like I need to get access to a hackerspace with a laser cutter. There's no longer, there's I'm not in the city anymore. Not in like New York City anymore. There's no more Fat Cat Fab Lab, for me at least. So I need access to a new laser cutter, or I can't make stuff like this. It doesn't look like there's a lot of liquid in here, if any. There's like a few drops, but it doesn't look terrible. Where's our nasty pipette? Ooh, oh, that was slimy. Houston, we may have a problem. Oh, that's slimy. Ew. Maybe I should have been wearing gloves. Suppose it's a little late at this point. Get in there. Let's see. Adam S asks, Zach, how do you like that screwdriver? I assume you're talking about the what's this called? The ES40, I think it's called, short for electric screwdriver. ES121, short for electric screwdriver. It's all right. The torque isn't amazing. Yeah, the torque isn't amazing, so I often do have to unscrew stuff manually, but it comes in really handy when I'm reassembling something or just, building or breaking a lot of stuff, because it takes some serious work. Yeah, it gets really annoying when you have to like manually unscrew like 100 screws, and even if that doesn't take it all the way, like still doing most of the work for you is really handy. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty neat. See, it's motion sensing. So you flick your hand this way and it turns counterclockwise. You flick it this way, it turns clockwise. It's very cool. Yeah. So let's keep this. I have to keep this thing level. Keep this thing on the level while I take it apart, because we don't want any drips. I mean, it's okay if it's fashionable, but we don't want any fluids. Fluids. Forbidden apple juice, yes. Ablative kitten. This is the cursedest of all of the non-potable items. Although Fabuloso is pretty far up there. Yeesh. Palador Sims asked, I guess the coolant you use are water. The coolant we used before was Primo Chill View, which is it's like a sort of like a showpiece coolant. It's a coolant with this additive that shows it lets you see like the water currents. We're going to refill this with EKWB cryofuel. We're going to refill this with an off-the-shelf. It's not like it's technically it's a premix, but like it's like 80% propylene glycol. So it's not like, or ethanediol, I think. So it's not like you can mix it yourself. Yeah, I like that. I like that particular blend. It lasts a really long time. And it has an additive, I think, that keeps it from attacking propylene glycol. Or it has an additive that keeps it from attacking polyethylene terephthalate, PETG, which is what the liquid cooling tubes are made of. Yeah, that's right. The hardline tubing is made of the same type of plastic that you use in a 3D printer, both made of PETG, and that means they both soften at a fairly low temperature and are very tough. I think that's kind of neat. So this is looking nice and squeaky clean. If you look closely, you'll see that I had to desolder the camera port in order to fit this water block on there. So no built-in Pi camera, unfortunately. All right, this is looking good. Looks like we have a little. These are thermal epoxied on, so I'm not worried about them going anywhere. Let's do a little more alcohol. Every time I start a stream, my phone immediately starts blowing up, and it's like being on a date, right? Like I don't want to be rude and check it. Directly solder on a Pi cam. You are a crazy person, Victor Koyanov. Tebla says I got a couple liters of propylene glycol for vaping. Yeah, I mean yeah. It's fairly safe. That's another thing I was worried about. There are coolants that are not safe. Ew, 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 ew. There are coolants that aren't safe to let get into the water. They're coolants that you don't want to get into the water system, and I don't want to have to keep jugs of coolant lying around until the local municipality does chemical pickup day. I want to just dump it in the toilet. Witch King 64 says, why PETG and not silicone? Wouldn't silicone work fine? So the reason we're using PETG is because it's rigid. We can bend it into all kinds of shapes and aggressive angles, and it'll stay there. It'll stay in that shape without having to have like a rustable anti-kink coil placed inside. A more interesting question is, why vinyl instead of silicone? And I don't actually know if there's like a reason besides the cost. I think in part you don't want it to get pinched. Usually when you do it like a high-end like soft tubing liquid cooling system, you're usually if you're using a soft tubing liquid cooling system, you often use a material called Tygon, which in the inside is a low coefficient of friction, so stuff doesn't build up in it. All kinds of neat facts like that. Let's see what else. Jay says, wait, really? I thought hard tubes were made out of acrylic. You can also use acrylic. You can also use acrylic. The trade-off is acrylic is crystal clear. It's gorgeous. It looks really nice. But it's very fragile. It'll shatter easily. And it also scratches easily, so you have to like handle the whole thing with gloves. And you have to be super careful because it's super breakable. PETG is semi-flexible, so you don't have to like perfectly nail. You don't have to perfectly nail the bend. You can be a little bit off, and it'll kind of bend into place a little bit. Gives you a little leeway, and it's also very tough, so it's unlikely to break or crack. Instead, it can deform a little bit. Floran Verschilde, pardon me if I slaughtered your name. Doesn't a PC heat up? Isn't that bad for PETG? Yeah, PCs do heat up, but if they heat up enough to soften PETG, you're in some trouble. PETG should stay like temperature stable past 80 Celsius, and if your coolant in your PC is getting that hot, you have a serious problem. The coolant is never as hot as the parts it's cooling, and it shouldn't be, right? Because it's being cooled. Yes. Let's see what else here. Acrylic looks awesome, but it's very hard to bend, and it's super fragile and brittle. It really is. Tebla asks, this is a great question. When you're water cooling multiple components, does it matter what order you route the tubing or coolant? This is one of the most common misconceptions that I've seen in PC making. There is no difference. If there is a difference in the order of parts in your loop, if there is a difference, I haven't seen convincing evidence of it. Not only does it not matter, whether you route it to your graphics card first or whether you route it to your CPU first. It doesn't matter like where you put the pump, the radiator, it doesn't matter where you put the pump, where you put the radiator, and where you put the reservoir. That said, you usually end up cooling the CPU and then the graphics cards, because that's just like how cases tend to be laid out. But there's no real it doesn't matter. My water cooling loop goes pump, reservoir, radiator, CPU, radiator, graphics cards, back to the reservoir. So it's all over the place. I don't think it matters in the slightest. It's a tiny difference. It's not going to make, and like, it doesn't make any difference unless you saturate the coolant with heat. And if that's the case, your radiators aren't powerful enough.
the entire loop, for all intents and purposes, regardless of how you configure your loop, the temperature of the coolant is going to be virtually identical at every point in that loop. It's not like your computer's like your PC is not a refrigerator. Like, the coolant doesn't leave the radiator that much colder than it enters. It's how quickly it cycles through it that cools it down. Yeah, the coolant doesn't heat up that much, which is actually kind of an interesting experiment. I believe that, like, if your PC, if, like, let's say you're cooling a graphics, oh, what's that? Oh, it's not. Wait, why did YouTube send me a notification that I'm live on my own channel? That's weird. Water specific heat capacity is high. That's true, Victor. Although you're usually using a lot of, like, propylene glycol or some other chemical because it wets better. It gets into the crevices of the heat, the water block better, more efficient. Yeah, it doesn't. So, anyways, the temperature of the coolant as it leaves a hot processor is only a few degrees hotter than when it entered, which is kind of neat. It doesn't carry all the heat away at once. It's the continuous flow of current. So let's do a test fit here. I just want to make sure that these fit side by side. Oh boy, that is a very tight fit. They're turning like gears. Oh boy. I think we may have a problem here. Let's see if anything. I'm going to take the top off. Let's see if anything changes once the I got measurements, but I think I may have made a boo-boo. Let's see if anything changes once they're fully screwed in. Oh my. Yeah, if we can't actually screw these down, we're gonna have a bit of a problem here, aren't we? Actually, all right. I mean, there's barely any clearance, but I think this actually works. Yeah. Let's switch back to. No, not there. Yeah, look at that. There's barely any clearance there, but it's just enough. Oh, that is sus. Yeah. We're having a lot of it does indeed grind my gears, Victor. Beefingit, a number of others have talked about the antibacterial stuff. Any PC coolant really should have some sort of antibacterial and antifungal agent, and most premixes have it built in, so you don't have to add it yourself anymore. Back in the day, you'd have to add in like some sort of germicidal crud. Nowadays, it all has it added in. Okay, so let's see here. How do we want to lay this out? So we've got gold and black fittings. We want the gold fittings on. Let me think here. There's many of the. So the purple fittings aren't going to fit. The two purple fittings have to go here. So we want the gold ones on the radiator, as many on the outside as possible. Okay, so we're on the right track. I'm going to add these first because I'm a little worried about not being able to, like, reach in and wrench them around. I think it'll work. There's a very fat O-ring on the bottom of this, so there's a little bit of wobble. I think this will work. I hope the fittings don't rust if we scrape some of the. I hope the fittings don't rust if we scrape off some of the enamel or the paint or whatever. Turn them on a lathe. I wish I had a lathe. Arctic Archer asks, will they warp with any temperature? You might want to be careful. I don't think they shouldn't heat up because the Delrin doesn't transmit heat very well. Remember that, like, the water shouldn't come into direct contact. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, the water will come into direct contact with it. I doubt it. That would cause them to leak. We're on the threads. It would cause them to leak in the threads. Look, we'll give it a shot. Worst case scenario, I guess worst case scenario, we're kind of screwed.
because these were the smallest fittings I could find. So yeah, yes, H4. We're definitely putting as many of the gold fittings as we can in the exterior. Although two of them, yeah, these have rotational symmetry. Although two of them are gonna have to go on the inside, which is what we're doing right now. So I'm going to put them on opposite sides so it's gold where it enters. And what do you think? Should we put the two? Should one of these heat sinks or should one of these water blocks have the brass fittings, or should we put one on the in part of the entire system and one on the out part of the entire system? Which one? Which? What do you folks think? Preferences? Preferences? Yeah, the coolant should not get that hot. No matter how hot the PC gets, the coolant should never. I'm gonna put one in the intake and one in the outlet. No matter how hot the parts get, the coolant should never really exceed maybe 50 Celsius. Yeah, we're gonna mix. Yeah, let's mix these up. The people have spoken. There we go. Nice and snug. Nice and snug. I love these. I love these brass fittings. These are so tacky, completely classless. I wish I could have got all 12 of these fake gold fittings. Oh, I love them. I love the color scheme of this. This is a great build. I love this thing. This is a lovely build. Here we go. I'm just getting dumb. Put it on the inside and on the outside. Pick2 asks, can I break a heat gun if I get 1 million subscribers? I don't think I'm going to need 1 million subscribers to break a heat gun. I think that'll happen on its own. Yeah, so we're mixing them to look like crazy eyes. If I get 1 million subscribers, I will be overjoyed. I think that's going to take at the rate we're going, it's going to take a rather long time. It's going to take a number of years. Palador Sims asks, are there any difference between the brass and the other ones? No, they're the same model. One of them just has a black enamel coating and the other has a fake brass coating. They're otherwise identical. So let's put these back. I'm just going to put these here temporarily. 2 4s. All right, so I guess one of these is going to need. So these two are going to go on the Raspberry Pi. Got the two. All right, so I made a minor. I guess we're going to have 2 of them brass and 2 of them not. I forgot we had 5 heat sinks instead of. Oh wait, no, I'm dumb. One of them's going to go on the Raspberry Pi one gets all gold. The Raspberry Pi one's fancy enough. Yeah. Let's get this over here. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't. These look great for all of the opulence and glitz. I think this looks pretty good. Nelly Merck asks, is Delrin a custom part or purchased from stock? These are off the all the components in this build are off the shelf, except for 3D printed stuff. Like all the water blocks, all the stuff is off the shelf. I do not have access to a mill. Unfortunately, I am not that cool yet. If anyone from like Bantam or someone in the audience, feel free to send me one. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay, let's get our garbage out of here. All right, these are looking fine. Pardon the autofocus. I can't really I don't think I can really turn it off. I gotta. There must be like a third-party utility for these Logitech webcams. Before we move on, we should probably clean this out too, because it's equally filthy. The reservoir is filthy. Gross. Let's wipe all that crap off. Maker Wayne says you're on the upswing. I just found you 2 days ago, so you're being recommended. Yeah, one of my old videos had a bit of a bump. My Nerf video seems to have got a little more attention. I don't know why YouTube will only recommend my old videos, but who knows? Arrow Raider says that accent made me unsub. If only I knew it was that easy. IPA gang represent. Wiggle 1000's with me. Let's see. If channel growth were so we've got Tebla here says channel growth is exponential. Then we have Nvidia, whatever. Another person agrees. I don't actually think it's exponential. I think channel growth tends to be stepwise. You have like a growth and then it levels, and then a big growth and it levels. I think channels grow in fits and starts. I think like the really like the hyper popular viral ones tend to go exponential, but I think most channels that reach big numbers do it sort of stepwise, growing in bursts. That's at least what's been going on with me. Arrow Raider says today's viewership's probably lower because of the holiday. I kind of hope that there will be more people watching because of the holiday. I actually have no idea what we're going to do on Monday. I haven't yet come up with an idea for next week's, or rather the idea I had for next week's streams and episodes fell through, so I have to figure something out. One sec. I have to figure out what we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna have this day off on Monday. I mean, a lot of you folks are gonna have the day off. There's no over here at Voidstar Lab. There's no rest for the wicked. Monday is what's that like Columbus owned the Indians Day? Is that I think that's what it was. Yeah, this will work. I bought some forceps finally. Trying to mess around with tweezers. I hope isopropyl is the right material for this, or the right chemical. I think it is. Yeah, get in there. Oh, it's Memorial Day. My lovely wife has reminded me it's Memorial Day. I have been freelancing. I've been freelancing so long. I've completely like lost touch with bank holidays. Just never. There are no days off when you're hustling, when you're on the grind. Hustle every day. Every day you're not working, someone else is working, and when they meet you, they'll beat you. You gotta hustle. Hashtag girl boss. I'm gonna use some Windex in this. Yeah, the reservoir is gonna have the worst crud because it's where most of the look at that yellow. It's where most of the fluid is gonna end up. Yeah, this is made of this is acrylic. You can see, yeah, the reservoir is acrylic. The wiping sound is horrible. I didn't even know you could hear it. It's barely audible from my side. Oh, it's the scraping. All right. Well, I think I'm just gonna pull this through one more time, and I think we're done. Give this a little scrub. Brooke asks, I keep coughing, do I need tea? I think that's not a terrible idea. Actually, I've got coffee. It's basically the same thing, right? Look at my Hackaday mug. Look at that. So that's how you know I'm an elite hacker. Okay, the pump, there's nothing I can really do about the pump. I guess if I had my act together, I would have bought a bottle of distilled water and just like run it in a loop through the pump and reservoir to scrub out the inside. But it ain't happening. Tobias Schneider says coffee is just bean tea.
I guess. Palador Sims asks, could you use mercury as coolant? I mean, hypothetically, you could use any liquid as coolant. Wow, you even confused my camera. Focus, you camera. We're gonna switch cameras. Um, I'm mercury. Yes, mercury is coolant. You need one hell of a pump to actually drive it. But yes, you could use pretty much any liquid as coolant. Your computer would be heavy as hell. Mercury is beyond heavy. You would need a crazy pump to run that stuff through the system. But I mean, it is metal, so. Oh, and the other thing is you need a. The other problem is you would need a heat. You need a water block that it wouldn't amalgamate with, because mercury likes to amalgamate with other metals and basically drink their milkshakes. So you would need aluminum would be right out. It would dissolve. It would eat right through. The amalgam would flake apart. I'm not sure, but pure I think nickel. I think it also attacks nickel. I'm not 100% on this, but it might not attack copper. I don't actually know this. I need to look it up. Yeah, liquid metal. Beef Ingot says liquid metal for cooling would be so cool. Now that's a different take on liquid cooling. So you can actually, there is a product called liquid metal that's used. Oh yes, Reagan says, I love watching you rub your pump. Thank you for the super chat. It's very generous. Super chats are very helpful. They support the channel and help us pay for things like water cooling parts. Right. So there's this product called liquid metal that is used as a thermal compound between like the chip and the between the chip and the water block, and I think that's got some gallium in it. And it makes like a really good thermal seal. Problem is, unlike regular thermal compound, it doesn't set, so it can like move out of place, and you have to be like super careful about reassembling the system. I figured it wasn't worth the trouble. Liquid titanium is too hot. Yeah, I don't. Can you liquefy titanium? I feel like it would oxidize at a high temperature. Titanium's weird. Titanium is like one of the most common metals it's one of the most common metals elemental it's one of the most common elements, but it is really hard to turn it into metal. Oh, we have a little bit of a crack forming here on the pump. Oh, or on the reservoir. That's not good. Oh, we got a crack on both sides. Did this happen here? There's no way cleaning it would have cracked it, right? Like, usually it would craze. Oh, that sucks. I wonder if it's still usable. I guess that would be kind of dangerous to test, wouldn't it? Oh, that's a pain in the butt. I wonder if I wonder if this is like a standard size or. Well, this sucks, doesn't it? I think we're gonna have to. I cleaned it too good and it cracked. Clearly. Oh man, what a pain in the butt. Maybe it broke on the journey and I just didn't see it. Oh, that's really weird. Oh yeah. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, it's cracked all the way through. F. Oh, can I get an F in chat? It must have got cracked on the trip, and this was like just the final straw. Well, I guess we're definitely not testing. IPA will crack acrylic. It should clean the atomic bonds away. It shouldn't crack. Like I cleaned the outside of it before with acrylic, and it's not crazed or anything. Like usually, it makes like a spider web of before filming. Like I spritzed a little on it in the corner to see if it would craze it, but maybe the alcohol broke it. I guess it's possible. Well, crap. All right. Well, that's inconvenient, isn't it? F. Okay. I guess we'll need another one. All we have. I mean, we still have the radiator. We still have the pump and whatnot. So we just need the
Just need a new one. Yeah, I guess it was the IPA. It probably attacked the weak spot where the threads began. But it's not I feel like but I tested it. It's weird. Yeah, like it's not usually like it makes like some spider webs or at least makes it hazy. But not this time. See if it weakened it. No. You know what? Maybe it was exacerbated by the IPA, but this is definitely like crappy manufacturing. As long as I don't have to blame myself. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to go to Micro Center and get a new. Looks like we're gonna have to go to Micro Center and get a new radiator or a new reservoir. Oh well. We'll build this thing up as best we can. In the meantime, well, I hope it wasn't my fault. But look, live and learn. It just goes to show you that like I don't know everything about everything. I learn on the job. Oh, I said Micro Center, Maker Wayne, take a shot. Cyberdeck Cafe, nice to see you in chat. It's another YouTube channel that does a good does a pretty rad stream. They have the Cyberdeck Cafe Technical Difficulties show. It seems to always be on. Like, is it every week? Because then the weeks are really going. I've been told to use the Gorilla Glue made with real gorillas. Unfortunately, it's really expensive and it's hard to get now because all the gorillas are investing in GameStonk. So yeah, all right. Okay. We're gonna take a minor detour here because folks are asking for like a walk and talk, like an FPV, like a walk and talk stream. No, we don't want that at all at Micro Center. I don't know how the hell these guys do that. My phone does not have it. There's no way my phone has enough bandwidth to stream 1080p, like 1080p 30 frames per second in the middle of a department store. Like I don't know how the hell these guys pull that off. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I don't think so. I want to get Micro Center to sponsor me, so like I don't want to do anything for them for free. Reservoir. Also, I'd look like a tool bag. On top of all of that, I don't believe you're allowed to record someone in Colorado without getting a release form. So, who knows? Yeah, if anyone knows how you do those live streams, that would be great. Maybe they just connect to a local Wi-Fi. Maybe they connect to like the store's Wi-Fi. Although, so here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. A place like Micro Center should have good enough IT that if I start, uploading at 5 megabytes per second, they'd throttle me. But this is Micro Center we're talking about, and everything they do is half-assed. So who knows? Anyways, I think we need to get back to building stuff. That you'll have to pardon me. That threw me for a loop. We'll have to buy a new one. I guess this is also an opportunity to, instead of having I like the aesthetic of having the reservoir like flat, but this might be an opportunity to put it the way God intended. Alrighty, well let's reassemble this and do. Do I want to reassemble this? Let me think of our game plan here. Maybe we should. I think we should do the most intricate. Reagan, thanks for the $5 super chat. I googled public shoot in Colorado, and now I'm on a list. We do have rather lenient gun laws here. Haven't availed myself of that yet. We're gonna clean up a little bit before we move on, because I want all the tabletop space I can get. Let's put all our toys away. This is how you maintain a clean workshop. You just don't let it get dirty. Put this over here too. Get this IPA out of here before I destroy anything else. I did not know that. It's not. I wonder if I've damaged anything else. Damaged any other acrylic parts cleaning them with isopropyl. What should you clean it with? Just like a cloth. Okay, Aerator says, my Micro Center has knowledgeable employees. Compusa did not before they went bust. I have a Micro Center employee story. So a couple times ago, I went to Micro Center, and I think I was looking for something weird, I was looking for a USB battery pack that had quick charge, that had USB power delivery, and I go to the section that sells the. Hang on a second. I forgot which of these are which. I forgot how I had these laid out. So I went to the section that has the batteries and stuff, and I'm waiting, and I hear two employees talking, and I wait until they I'm waiting until they're done so I can politely insert myself into the conversation, and they're talking about whether it's practical to keep axolotls as pets. So I'm just on the other side of this aisle, pretending to look at USB cables, listening to this conversation that probably went on for a good 10 or 15 minutes about the logistics of acquiring and maintaining an axolotl as a pet. And if that's not just the most, instead of helping, the store was busy too. Instead of helping customers, sitting around talking about whether you should put a bubbler in your axolotl tank. And if that's not just the perfect Micro Center story, I don't know what is. So let's shove our gasket back in place here. I called it an O-ring, but it is definitely more of a gasket. Let's put our gaskets back and then figure out how we're gonna run our tubing here. So I think before we went from here to here, here to here, here to here. That doesn't make any sense. If only there was some sort of recording of this project that one could look at and reference. If only there was some sort of way to see what this project looked like before. Imagine if a system like that existed for 3D prints too, like some sort of website where you could download all kinds of 3D prints and printable STL files, and the site could even show you what they look like. Where's my gaskets? It could even show you what they look like before you download them, so you can make sure it's what you want. You could hold entire assemblies of stuff, so you can keep all the 3D prints for your project together. Imagine if they had some sort of augmented reality system that let you see the things in real life. Oh man, I would use it. I'd call it things.com, and if it existed, I would put its link in the description in a heartbeat. I would tell people that if they wanted to download or host or share their 3D printed files, they should use the link in the description to visit things.com. But that would be ludicrous. That would be absurd. Reagan, thanks so much for the $5. This message is sponsored by things.com. Give a donation shilling for my sponsor. You are on a whole other level of capitalism. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It really helps and makes a big difference. Let's put this one back here. Let's put this one over here. I'm working. Tebla, thanks for complimenting my segues. I have been watching all the legal videos. I've been watching all of the Internet Historian videos. I've been brushing up on my shilling. I'm trying to max out my shill meter. Yes. Is Photochromax asked, is the Things Android app published? I don't know. I only have an iPhone. Come to think of it, I didn't download the Things iPhone app either. Don't tell them. It's a secret. So let's see. So we are gonna want. Let's see. It can come in here. It leaves here. So it goes in, it goes in here, from here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here. Because before
before I had to route the tubing in a really specific way to minimize how sharp the bends were, and it didn't really end up helping. Oh, right before I went like here and then diagonally. I don't need to do that anymore because we can bend this hard line pretty aggressively. Oh, it's not a hot dog; it's a quagsire. So yeah. Beef Ingot says I have to start including 3 ads per video like Linus Tech Tips. No, I I don't like mid-roll ads. Viewers don't like mid-roll ads. Husky Gaming asks, can you use the same mic you use in the vids? Unfortunately, I can't because the wire's not long enough. Also, we're getting to the point where the reason I'm using the mic, we're using the headset matters because we're going to start bending liquid cooling. So we're going to start bending liquid cooling tubing so we can. So we're going to need this because otherwise all you would hear is heat gun. Yeah, I'm still working on the audio. Still working on our stream setup. Still building it out. Okay, so we're going to go in here. We can go from here to here, right? In here, here to here, here to here, here to here, and out here. Really simple. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's put these back. And we can use part of it is going to be gold. That indicates where the inlet and outlets are. Oh, this looks so much better already. Oh, this is going to look so crispy. So I'm going to be freehanding all this. I know a lot of people like stencils and things. They like using like these jigs, right? They like using jigs to do their bending. I do not. I prefer freehanding it. I find that when I use a jig to bend hardline, it ends up like scuffing up and marking the outside of the tube. Oh, that's odd. It's hard to drive this one because I don't think these holes are in the same. I don't think these mounting holes are in the same place on each of the or on each of the water blocks. So I think some of the screws are going to be harder to put in than others. This is very sketchy. 20-minute video, skip to 1340 for content. So back in my day, when YouTube was new-ish, I wasn't on YouTube that early, but when YouTube was new-ish, there was this rule that as soon as the video started, you always hit the 3 button, because when you hit a number button, it takes you to that times 10% of the way through the video. So, you hit 3, you jump to 30%, because the rule was that there's nothing worth watching until the 30% mark, because people would because every video would start like, hi, my name is Zack, and yeah, today I had this idea about making a video about, something, oh no, how's this? Are we better? Yes? No? Good? Bad? How are we doing here? Oh, that's a pain in the butt. Here. All right, I think this should be good. Oh, yep, there we go. Professionalism. How's this? Pardon me. Oh my gosh, this is so technical difficulties. I can see why the Cyberdeck Cafe calls its podcast technical difficulties. How are we doing? Are we better? Are we good? Are we Gucci? Are we rolling? Are we chugging? Are we raging? Excellent. I think the whatchamacallit, I think the signal on the transmitter, I think the signal on the transmitter was getting blocked by something. I don't know why it started partway through. Sorry for having you guys put up with everything. Spam that my sound is better in chat, so so people who muted me know to turn it back on. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. And please pardon the disruption. Yes. On the list is a wireless lapel mic. Like that smash button. On the shopping list is a wireless lapel mic, so that we can get the same audio that we do in normal videos here on the streams. But just haven't got around to it yet. Yeah, this thing was a lot grungier than I expected. Ugh, grody. But I think we'll be all right now. Let's just Jesus. Confirm that our O-rings are still in place. Very nice. Very nice. I have 189,000 subscribers. Heck yeah. I'm not even gonna say hell. I'm gonna see how I'm ride or die, no swearing. Oh, that's awesome. I was a little worried. The number got a little stagnant there for a bit. I was worried I might have jinxed it by putting up my play button. What a roller coaster this last year has been. Okay, I get it. It's a roller coaster for everyone. It's a roller coaster for everyone, but man, what a career change. What a thing this has been. Oh, the LED is on the wrong side. Good eye. Nice. Jesus. I think crud from. Oh, my hands are all dry from the alcohol. That's why I'm having such a hard. I was like, why am I having such a hard time gripping things? The alcohol dried my hands out. Skincare is important. I have those luscious, soft baby hands. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy lemon greasy. Is this just the wrong size? This can't be the wrong size. There's no hex like 2.75. So the 2 is too small, but the 2.5 is too big. Is it Imperial? Is it possible it's Imperial? Yeah, you gotta. It's a 30% rule. All YouTube videos suck until you're a third of the way through. It's just nature. It's just physics. I don't know why it was always 30% though. It's really weird. There are some really weird patterns like that in YouTube. For instance, no matter how long I make my videos, people generally watch about half of them. It's really weird because you'd think that people would, for instance, get bored after 5 minutes, right? Or after if they've watched for 10 minutes, they've probably they're not paying attention to their phone anymore. But nope, people always seem to watch about halfway through the video, regardless of how long the video is. It's very weird. I need some. Oh no, I don't want to strip this. I need some search engine optimization guru to teach me the ways. Man, I don't think there's a group of people I trust categorically less
than self-proclaimed YouTube gurus. It was like, you don't want to be a slave to the like. As soon as someone says you're gonna be a slave to the 9 to 5, I'm immediately like, okay, what's he selling? It's always a dude. Never any ladies trying to bilk people out of their SEO dollars, are there? Very weird. Been watching this YouTuber called CoffeeZilla, and that's his thing. He like debunks that, and on Instagram, Baller Busters. I'm hooked on this stuff. Both these guys debunk like people who make a career out of having a high opinion of themselves. Baller Busters, especially. If you don't follow Baller Busters on Instagram, like, just, you got to jump on that. These guys are like authentic investigative journalists, and made it their life's work to make sure that anytime someone flexes on Instagram, people know how much they paid to rent that Ferrari. I love it. These fake Instagram influencers just kill me. They just crack me up. Imagine being so insecure that you rent a car to pretend you have a car. Like, pretend you have a fancy car. Just... Focus, please. That's part of why I like the DIY thing so much, because you can't really buy your way into it, right? Like you have to have an element of creativity and an element of craft. You can't just like... I mean, I guess you could, but I don't think it'd be very effective. Yeah, I like that aspect of it. Plus, like, yeah, there's character in it. Every project someone makes, they put a piece of themselves into. Like, it's unavoidable. Part of the process. All right, and we have 4 more for the Raspberry Pi. Very nice. Okay. Good. We are in good shape. Hair cam. Oh no. I'm still working on getting my positioning right. Okay, so I think it's time to do the thing we came here for. Bend. Bender. B-E-N-D-E-R. Okay. So the question is, well, I'm gonna have to pick that up. But the question is how far out from the board we can have the how far from the board we can allow the tubing to project. So I'm just gonna carefully drop this in here. So yeah, we've got. So this is where it starts. So basically the let me switch back to overhead cam. So basically, like, the tubing begins at sort of where this EM shielding starts. So the question is, how much clearance do we have between the EM shielding and the back of the case? I guess I could probably use calipers for that. I'm just trying to think if there's some lazier way to do it. I suppose we could make one and then just like cut parts off. Yes, Baller Busters is private, but they approve everyone. They just make it private, so if they're investigating someone, they can keep them from accessing it. The scope is enormous. It's much bigger than it looks, and it's only because there's rarely something next to it that it's hard to see that. The scope is giant. Okay, so let's get the calipers. Where'd I put them? Here we go. Okay. So let's see. So we're going to start here, and we'll 0 it. So then this is going to go from about this rim to the back of the case. That's how much room we have. So let's measure that approximately. So from here to about, let's call it here. Let's give ourselves some clearance. So we only have about 2 inches. Yeah, we've only got about 2 inches. About 50. So we want to keep this around. We want to keep our bends around 50 millimeters total. Good. Okay, so now's the fun part. Now we're going to bend some liquid cooling. And this is going to be fun to try to keep on camera. Yeah, let's gather our supplies. I'm going to put this over here for now. So we've got heat gun. This right here is why I wanted to use the headset, because this would be loud. So we got our heat gun. I would really like something to prop this up on, but I guess we'll have to do this here. This could be a little tricky to do on camera, which is why I'm fussing around a lot. And I realized that I didn't find my liquid tubing bending thing. Ah, come on. Here it is. Oh, I have two of them. Oh, I've got one of these. Oh, we got one of these. Wait, no, never mind. We don't have one of those. Okay. All right, we're gonna need this hose. We're gonna need this this thing. You'll see what that's for in a sec. And we also need a tubing cutter. Where is my tubing cutter? Here it is. Yeah, tubing cutter. I thought I had one of those rotary cutters, but I guess not. Could also use a hacksaw or a Dremel. We'll see. Okay, and of course we're going to need tubing. Here we go. I have so much of this stuff left over from building my PC. So much. Let's just make sure that this is going to give us a clean cut. Beautiful. All right. I think this is looking good. So let's cut this down to a more manageable size. Or first, let's preheat our heat gun. Cut this down to a more manageable size. Let's bring this to around. Let's see. Bring this to around 15 centimeters, give or take. We can always cut the excess off later. This will make it a little easier to keep in view. And let's give it a shot. So, we have a heat gun. And basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be soldering. We are going to be heating this up so it softens, and then carefully bending it to size. So I'm going to put this over here for size reference. Yeah, this is going to be a little on the tricky side. We may have to pause to clean things up. This turns into a problem. All right, so we don't want this blowing anywhere near this. Okay, so we're going to be going from here to here. So I think we'll do two 90-degree bends. Oh, this one's got some... This tube has some crap on it. All right, so this tube is a little nicked up, but that's fine. We're going to use this for practice. So let's do this. So first step is to put this hose into the tube, and that will keep it from collapsing in on itself as it melts. Otherwise, it'll just like flatten. And then let's warm it up. We want to be nice and gentle here. Yeah, the temptation is just to grab it and like wrench it, but when it softens up, like you know it's soft. It'll start to sag and flop on its own. So if it's moving too slow here, we can always turn up the heat. Wiggle 1000 says, I think you're supposed to lube the hose. If you're having a hard time getting it in, lube it up. I actually bought a whole bunch of them until I found one that just fit well. See that? Starting to wiggle. So let's get into position. Gently. Easy does it. Yeah, I think we're going to turn up the heat. All right, there we go. So there's a bend. So we're just going to hold this in place. while it cools off. Remember, it's just PETG, so it doesn't have to get that. It doesn't have to get that cold to hold its position. By the way, how's my audio? Is this really causing problems? Because I can start. I can mute it while the heat gun is on if we have to, or try something else for the audio. Blow my tube with the hose in it. Yeah, so we're gonna heat this up because you can see it's looking a little. It's kind of flat on the edge. You see that? It's kind of flat on the edge, which implies that it isn't hot enough. So we're gonna turn up the heat. So let's see. We don't have to. It's like we don't have to nail it, because we can always just soften it up again, and always just soften it up and bend it again. So yeah, sometimes it takes a little practice. Takes a little warm up, so to speak, before we start really cranking out good hardline. But as we build up the knack, it'll work better. I'm a flat tuber. What does that mean? What does that even mean? I don't want to flatten my tube. Yeah, so here you go. It's that easy. So the question is, can we actually bend this? Like, can we bend it tightly enough? I think so. I think we're gonna bend it about here. The beauty of this is that we only really have to nail it. We only have to really nail our dimensions once, and then we can copy that. Aesthetic asks, why does your audio suck? Why is the audio worse? That's because I had to switch up my mic. If we use the mic I had before, all you'd be able to hear is heat gun. So I had to switch to using this headset. So the audio is going to be a bit worse, but the trade-off is that you hear my voice instead of just heat gun. So it looks like we got a little bubbling there. Looks like we overheated it. So it looks like we overheated it. That's fine. This is just a test. So we'll turn the heat down and just be more patient this time. Bend it like Beckham. There we go. Easy peasy. Easy game, easy life. Yeah. See, we're having. Yeah, it's getting. See, it's looking a little lumpy because I can't. I'm not putting consistent heat on it. We have to mount this like so. So that we have to mount this up so I can like hold it over and rotate the entire length of the tube. James W. says, I refuse to use hardline tubing when water cooling. Yeah, it looks better, but the amount of work is worth it. So the truth is, I actually find it very easy to do hardline tubing. The hard part is just getting everything set up, kind of like getting dialed in, getting used to it. You'll see that like once we get rolling, this thing will come together very quickly. Palador Sims, thank you so much for the Norwegian kroner. Thank you so much. You are now bending a tube into a U. I'm now a YouTuber. Maybe I should have lubed this up. Oh, no, we're good. We're good. That is quite the observation. Yep, I guess I'm now a YouTuber. I'm not going to hold the heat gun between my legs. I'm going to burn my bits off. Well, bear with me one sec. I'm just gonna get some water in here. Get some water in here. Get myself a rag. One sec. We'll be right back. Oh, God damn it. Oh, man. Oh, this sucks. 1 second. Yeah. So it looked like, because we heated this unevenly, it kind of collapsed a little. So I'm having a hard time getting it out. So we'll put. I just wet this rag here. We'll use that to kind of lube it up, make things easier. But yeah, so we're kind of stuck here. So I'm just going to heat this part up. This seems to be where the problem is. So we're going to heat this up and take it from there. Peter from Fat Cat Fab Lab is on the stream. Oh, we are in the presence of royalty. How's it going, Peter? Peter is the gentleman behind the Fat Cat Fab Lab, my old hackerspace, which I would assume now sucks because I'm not there anymore. How's open house? Oh, there we go. How's the open house going? Are people showing up again? Is it safe? Okay, so you can see it looks like we bent this a little short. That's fine. We have tons and tons of tubing. So let's cut ourselves another piece and start over. So yeah, I used to run the weekly open house, but once the YouTube thing got rolling, I didn't have time to do that. So we have a number. All right. Got a few things to figure out here. First, let's see if we can get this guy vertical. See if we can just clamp this thing to the table. A little precarious. Yeah, I think it's a little dangerous. I don't know. I'm not sure a pan of ice is a good idea. What did I do before? Before I hooked it onto the edge of the case. That's what I did. I hooked it onto the edge of the PC case, but we're gonna have to get a little more creative for this one. Open house is starting to go again. Very nice. Yeah, if you're in and around the New York City area, you got to go to the Fat Cat Fab Lab. You got to check it out. On the other hand, I have to find myself a new hackerspace. This cable is becoming a real problem. So I think I'll just point it. I think I'll just aim this away from me, so I can do this off the side of the desk. Let's try to turn the camera. Yeah, there we go. All right. So did anyone see where I put my tubing cutter? Oh, I'm losing all my stuff. I'm losing my marbles. Did I put this on the tubing cutter? Yep, I sure did. I am a professional. All right, so let's hack ourselves off another. Oh, let's put this out of the way. Let's hack ourselves off another piece. This time we're gonna wet our hose, in a manner of speaking. Yeah, there we go. A lot of lewdness. I don't think this is gonna slide off. I don't think it's gonna slide off the desk. I think we're fine. Yeah, let's get our hose in here. Well, now it's binding up. What gives? If we're still having trouble, we'll add a little soap too. Put the clamp on the side of the table with the beam sticking up and stab the foot of the hairdryer on it. That is I think that could be one way to do it. I'm just worried about the heat gun the tip of it coming into contact with the clamp. I feel like that could cause a bit of a catastrophic meltdown. Why is this always binding up like an inch, like 3 inches in? Come on, get in there, for crying out loud. Jeez. There we go. All right. So let's do our first bend, and this time we're going to be a lot more careful. It's almost like water is a terrible lubricant. Right, but if we use oil or something, it'll be next to impossible to get it'd be basically impossible to scrub it all out when we run stuff through the when we run coolant and cleaner through. If we're having too much trouble with straight water, we'll put a dab of soap on it or something else. Yeah, something else water soluble. If we use oil, we'll never be able to get the oil out. There'll always be oil floating around. KY jelly is actually an interesting 88. That's interesting. KY jelly is water soluble. That could do the job. So let's get this real floppy, nice and flaccid. Yep, get nice and easy. Let's keep the heat even all the way around. Looking good. All right, and now let's hold it. So let's set up, and then we'll do the other one. It's looking a little bit lumpy. Let's try and smooth that out. Very nice. Well, no one's going to be inspecting this that closely. I think a little lumpiness is fine. So I'm actually holding it a bit more than at a bit of a tighter angle than 90 degrees because it tends to relax a little bit. Everyone in the chat, get flaccid in here. Wintergarten uses talcum powder or baby powder. He's bending hardline tubing. What that marble machine is getting real advanced. There's a lot of stuff going on in that project. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on here. Pudding for cooling. That's right. Jared DuPont says, Wintergarten does a lot of pipe bending like this. He pulls the rubber tube through instead of pushing it, punch a hole through the tip, and tie some string to it. I tried that once, and the string just ripped right out of the end of the tube. I guess we could try it though. I mean, that is what a stream is all about, right? Watching me fail. All right, let's try something a little different here. I'm going to mark where I want the bend to end. Let's see. I'm going to mark where I want the bend to begin. So we're gonna want it about here. Let's give that a shot. Yeah, look, it's all about doing a little experimentation, figuring out what works. Hardline tubing for marbles. Man, that project is getting really out of control. That is the only channel that I've ever seen that has built an audience off multi-part project videos. Usually, I think multi-part project videos don't tend to work that well. Like, even on channels like the Hacksmith, they underperform. But their whole channel is like one giant project. That's pretty rad. I hope they don't feel like constrained. Like they've been shoehorned into. What's it called? Pigeonholed. They've been pigeonholed, and now they have to do marble machines forever. Because, like, I'm sure, like, they're creative guys, right? Like, they write songs and they build projects. So, like, it must feel really constraining having to make marble machines for the rest of their careers. I try really hard to make sure that nothing on this channel, that this channel doesn't end up having, like, I don't want this to be just a 3D printing channel or just a, just like a wearable computer or just a Nerf channel. So I've tried really hard. Let's see. I could actually tighten this up even more. Yeah, the plastic is really malleable. So we actually have a lot of leeway. Now I have the marble machine stuck in my head. Hardest part of streaming. Hardest part. Not humming or whistling. Avoiding the temptation to hum and whistle is the hardest part of the channel. Okay. Cool. So it looks like our dimensions are about right. Let's let this cool down, and then we should be able to cut it to length. Yeah, the plastic is a bit malleable. It stays. We can continue to. It's the same as the 3D printing material. We can continue to handle it for a little bit as it cools off. Binging with Babish stream. Oh no, what's he streaming? Oh, I'm gonna lose all my audience now. Everyone's gonna want to watch a New Yorker. Now that I'm out of New York, no one's gonna want to watch my stream anymore. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't do any streaming at the Fab Lab. The internet connection it was all Wi-Fi and I just couldn't get enough upstream bandwidth. All right, let's pull this out. Very nice. Ho 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 ho. Okay, so we can make this up to 50 centimeters long, give or take. So let's compare. Let's see how much room we have to work with here. Okay, so we're going to want to cut off. We're going to want to cut this off at about here. So this is going to be kind of our test run. So it's okay to. All right, so it's okay to cut a little less than. Like, it's okay to cut a little longer than we want it, because you can't cut something longer, but you can always cut it shorter. I'm sure everyone's grandpa has said that to them. I'm just gonna take a little bit more off this side. Don't have to totally nail it, because we are going to be sanding it down later. Let's see. Wait, what the hell? It doesn't fit? It's 12... Oh, for Christ's sake. I think we may have... have screwed ourselves here. It doesn't fit. This is half-inch tubing. These are 12mm fittings. It doesn't fit. Oh man, I messed this up. Project is defeating me at every turn, isn't it? What the hell? This is half-inch out. Yeah, it's half-inch outer diameter. It's 12. It's 12mm. What the shit, Lana? Pardon my French. Yeah. Oh man, things have really spiraled out of control in this project, haven't they? Let's see. 12mm. 12.5mm. Oh, this is. So what's this supposed to fit? I'm so confused right now. It's 12mm. All right, like Arctic Archer says, 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. 12mm is smaller. It's 12mm nominal. Like, it's not really. Let's see what happens if we warm it up. It's 12mm nominal, so like I expected that was just like, it actually came out a little bigger, or rather, I thought it fit 12 I thought when it said 12mm, it wasn't like the opening was 12mm, right? Like usually it accepts 12mm tubing. And there's a little bit of play in there. All right, so this is sus. Yeah, this is a little sus. I think it'll leak if we do this. I think I'm gonna have to grab the Dremel, and that's what we're doing here. I'll heat it up first, and then I'll try putting it in. But I don't think it's not gonna work very well. I think we may have to bust out the Dremel and modify this a little. Have I flared the ends with the tubes? Asks Wes Potter. That's not so. These are compression fittings, so it shouldn't be necessary. Yep, this is the second time I've sworn on a stream. So it looks like we have a little bit of success here, but it's not going to help us because we have to. We also have to thread the top fitting onto it. Yeah, I think we're boned. The tubing is just a little too
A little too thick. Oh, that's a pain in the butt, isn't it? Let me think. So options, yeah, half a mil, the half a millimeter isn't very much to solder down. It's going to be a little more. The question is if it's going to fit on the inside, because we got the O-rings in there. So like we're probably going to have to sand. So like if it doesn't fit on the inside, like with the O-rings, like it's still too tight, then we're going to have a serious problem. This is quite the I guess I really do have to hit the micro set. Heat the metal fitting to expand it. Bad with computer. I don't think that's how this works. So this is almost 13 millimeters. Oh my. Literally everything has gone wrong. Yeah, it's one of those days. There's really only two ways projects come out. Either everything is rigorously prepared and rigorously tested and pre-planned, and everything goes wrong, or you don't, and everything is going to go wrong. Okay, so let's see. The Marble Machine started as a one-stream project. Oh no. What does the package say? The package says for outer diameter 12 millimeter. So we are correct. Half inch. Right. I thought this was all nominal. Like this fits larger pieces. Unfortunately, I think we have to stick with these fittings because I don't think a fitting any larger would fit the water blocks. So this is quite a pickle. I guess we should see. Another option is to sand down the outside of the tubing. We could sand down the outside of the tubing. Oh man, this is. Or we could sand down the inside of this. You know what? I'm getting kind of heated, and it's not just because I've had a heat gun blowing at me. Let's disengage for a bit. Right? Let's disengage. Let's head back over here. Let's go on Micro Center's website and see what they have. And we can also, this will also give us some time to, give me some time to relax and unwind, and think a little more clearly. You do not want to wrestle your way through a project. If something seems hard, you're probably doing it wrong. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to mess with the tubing too much. I'm getting a lot of suggestions in chat about like modifying the tubing. I'm not sure I want to mess with it too much because I don't want this thing to spring a leak. So here, let's switch back over to our computer, and let's go on the center of the micro. Let's turn up the font so you guys can see what the hell's going on. Let's see what they got. 12 millimeter. Yeah, so like, you see what's going on here, right? Like, it's nominally 12 millimeters. So this looks like a different tube. All right, okay. I think this is what we want here. I think this is what we want, because this is a Bits Power. These are Bits Power brand fittings, and this is Bits Power brand tubing. And this calls it This calls it 12 millimeters, and this calls it 12 millimeters. So, I think this is what we want. No one can tell if the mug is full of coffee and whiskey, Brooke. We'll leave that to people's headcanons. I do have a tremendous. This is what it looks like when I'm making a video. Wiggle 1000 says, "Bruh, you have so many things open." This is what it looks like when I'm making a video. Making a video is a very intensive process. So I think this is what we want. I'm trying to scroll the wrong window. Let's make sure we're checking. Yep, 5 items at the Denver store. Yep. Yep, this is it. I guess we have to buy more tubing. This is so inconvenient. I bought these fittings specifically so I could use this leftover tubing. And now we're going to have even more tubing cluttering the place up. It's the name of the game. At least it's PETG and it's not acrylic. Okay. Oh my friggin' god. I can't. Unfortunately, I can't run this stream all day because I have to get back to editing this video. So let's figure out the. Oh, we have to get a reservoir too. Might as well check reservoirs, right? Let's see. They're going to be expensive. I think that's yeah, they're going to be expensive. I think it's a problem. Oh, I love these. I love these stacked polycarbonate reservoirs. They're so cool. There should be some pump res combos. What gives? I saw I definitely saw pump reservoir combos like this one last time I was there. Oh, they're sold out. Oh my. This is going to be a problem. It's really weird. I'm sure I saw more of them. DC. Oh, you so. Yeah, we want the reservoir. We don't care about the pump. What a pain in the butt. Welcome to hardware hacking. All right, we got one of them. Look how tiny this thing is. This is going to make me feel so inadequate. It's acrylic. I guess we could try running this without. We could try running this without a reservoir, but it'll make it that much harder to put it together. Man, now I feel like a real idiot. Although, if all it took was like one drop of, if all it took was like a drop of isopropyl to crack that thing, I think it was kind of an accident waiting to happen, because that could have happened if I tightened it a little too much or if like I nicked it. Colin Hames asked, "Is printing one off the table?" Unfortunately, did I say GitHub? Unfortunately, I don't think I can print something that waterproof. We could do something. I mean, maybe we could probably jank something together. Like we could make something. We could DIY it. Well, all I can say is today's episode is sponsored by Things. 3D printing website with things that you can 3D print. I'm gonna plug sadly. I'm not logging in. Yeah, so it's all kinds of professionally and amateurishly designed 3D models, and the best part is, is that the Batarang from Batman Beyond? Hell yeah, this guy's got style. Yeah, the best part is you get this 3D preview, so you can know what you're printing, and it loads as fast as the page. There's no like waiting around or any of that. Like, it loads as fast as you can do the page. Yeah, and the best part is you can try you do the augmented reality and see your Batarang in real life. Yeah. So yeah, if you have an evildoer who you need to throw something at and they're willing to wait for a bit, just head over to Things, use the link in the description, and print out something like this. Oh, but most importantly, my stuff is on it. Why is it showing me Thingiverse items? Forget that happened. We're just gonna cut that part. Anyways, yeah. Thanks to Things for supporting the stream. If you have 3D models that you want to share, it's really easy to get them set up. If you want to check them out, go ahead and do so. Link is in the description. Okay, so yeah, we have to fix it in post. All right, so we could go out and we could buy, maybe we get like a fancy liquor bottle, like get some Grey Goose or something, and turn that into a reservoir. I'm a little worried about this coming apart, though. Reagan, thanks for the $20. Thank you so much, Zach, for being so resilient in your streams. Don't burn out. I love your content. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat. Much appreciated. Yes, Things does search Thingiverse. So, yeah. And Thingiverse's search is notoriously a pain in the butt with that stupid auto-scrolling thing, or that infinite scrolling thing. So yeah, check it out. I could just throw money at this problem and get a $150 RGB pump reservoir combo. I could, we could make this spiral out of control. We could buy this really expensive pump reservoir combo, and I could install it in my regular computer, and we could take the pump out of that computer and put it in the oscilloscope. That would spiral out of control, and if I mess my computer up, then we're doomed. I have a hard time believing this is all the reservoirs they have. Let me just search for pump and see what they got. Check our Denver store. A desoldering pump. I don't actually have one. My old one blew apart. I primed it and it just blew the end out. It just snapped right off. Just blew all the end out, and like solder flakes flew all over the workbench. Wow, they have a lot of them. Do they have the nice one with like the nice one with the silicone, the wiggly silicone tip? What is this? These things look so cool. Yeah, this is just... What do you mean Leanne Lee? Oh, it's for a Leanne Lee case. That just like connects all your various parts together. All right, so we're gonna have to get creative, or I'll have to go online and buy it there. Oh man, this really screwed me over here. I'm really this really threw me for a loop. I had this whole stream like planned out, and then we started getting kicked in the balls repeatedly. Okay, so at some point we'll head to Micro Center. We'll get the correct tubing. I hope the tubing. I'll have to make sure that the tubing bending kit I have will work. Be a true Brian Leon says, be a true hardware hacker. Use aquarium parts. I mean, the pump works. The pump is not broken. It's the reservoir that's the issue. So we might get maybe I'll like get cute and do a and like jury rig one. I probably won't. That's a bad idea. Okay. So yeah. Here we are, and all the things I wanted to do aren't working, and my workshop is covered in parts. So, so we're gonna have to go to Micro Center and pick this up some other day. So let's figure out what we're going to do now. So we could cut it apart to make room. Yes, Brandon Eich is right. We're going to bring the fittings to Micro Center and make sure the tubing is going to fit. Yeah, if we definitely want to make sure that our tubing fits. Okay. 1 second. Brooke's texting me. Please save me, Brooke. Nope, it's not. Okay. Let's recover and course correct here. So we could instead mess around with the lighting. The lighting for this project has serious problems. I don't think it was working. I don't think it was working back when we. I don't think it was working when I closed the thing up. So could give that a little bit of TLC. Yeah, Micro Center is about a half hour away, so give or take. So it would take an hour and some change to go there. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do it this stream. But let's see, we could mess around with the lighting. I guess we've mostly reassembled this. Ugh, this is so inconvenient. Submerge the oscilloscope in mineral oil. Unfortunately, I don't think that is a very good idea. Right. Let's see. We could switch gears entirely and take a look. We could switch gears entirely, and take a look at the watch for the next project. Or for the next video. Although I finished the we've got our... our watch here. So if you tuned into Monday's stream, we were working on these little modules, right? And if you're working on these little modules for my smartwatch, let's switch back to this. We're working on little modules for my smartwatch here, and they're done. So we've got the slightly phallic-looking Thunderfinger module. This takes the Thunderfinger project and it puts it into the watch. So yeah, it detects magnetism. So let's see. Do we have anything magnetic around? This sort of has a magnet in it. Let's check this out. Yep, so it's very sensitive magnetometer. So watch what happens when I turn it on. Yeah, check that out. Isn't that neat? So we also have the breathalyzer module. Let's see. I need some alcohol to test that one out. And then we've got the color sensor. Let's see, the color sensor only responds to light, but you should see the proximity increase as I bring my hand to it. Yeah, isn't that neat? And then we've got the display module. I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. Yes, now you know now you know that either this does not have whiskey in it, or I sabotaged the breathalyzer knowing this was going to happen. Does the watch do any biometrics? Asked Tebla. Well, we've got our last module here. A spirometer. So this one I haven't been able to fully get working. It likes to crash, but we'll see how well it does. We'll see if we can make it work. Let's check this out. Oh wait, that's the wrong button, isn't it? There we go. Yep. So you see those? Kind of hard to see, but yeah, you see it's indicating heartbeats, and it's indicating my blood oxygen, and the red and infrared readings, which correspond to how oxygenated my blood is. Yeah, you can see my heart is beating rather erratically because something seems to have got me quite stressed. Yes, this is a pulse oximeter module. Yeah, so we do have some biometrics going on here, and yeah, that's all 5 of the new ones. So I'm gonna pull these out. But yeah. So that's what I did for the next video, which is going to be out soon. Yeah. So we also have the older modules are still working. I kind of cleaned a few of them up, but yeah, it took a lot. You know what? We didn't have a lot of success on stream and for doing all these models, but it turned out that they were actually very difficult to model. I ended up doing probably a dozen or 2 iterations of each one of these modules because the dimensions have to be so precise because this thing has to perfectly mate with the watch, and it needs to cover everything without sticking out too far. So it actually turned out to be a lot harder than I expected to finish these. So the Monday stream was really doomed from the start. There was no chance of getting all these done in time, especially given all the technical challenges in trying to stream the 3D printer cam. Lorenzo Porciani asks, I love VFDs, but what WTF? Isn't that like super fragile? Also, tinted plastic could improve visibility. Yes. Both of those are correct. I'll address both of those in the videos because they're fun. Oh, the Metateensy. Metateensy doesn't have a case. I decided it was funnier. To just have it dangling there. Sarah O'Miller asks, just got here, everyone. What's the project status? Have I got a story for you? Oh my. Yeah, we're gonna have to pick this up later. Yeah, that's what's going on with the project. I was up until like 4 o'clock last night, hammering out bugs in the code and figuring out, hammering out bugs in the code and like getting all that data displaying, tying up all of the modules. So, yeah, what a What a way to start a Memorial Day weekend. Okay. So, plan is, we're going to go to Micro Center and we're going to get some more tubing. We're going to go to... What do you say we find a good reservoir? Like, I don't think we're going to be able to get a reservoir easily. So let's see if we can find something nice and fancy that will take the place of it. Let's see, images. Maybe like a booze bottle. What kind of booze could work? Like a Grey Goose bottle would work. Like, but if we can get a small one, turn on its side, because this is a luxury oscilloscope. This is a luxury oscilloscope that we're dealing with here. So maybe like something like this, like turned on its side. Let me move this around. Yeah, maybe something like this, or like, what's even fancier? Single malt. Oh man, especially if you like make the coolant like gold colored, like single malt. Oh man. I just don't remember. Like most of them don't have very interesting bottles. Oh man, we could put like a Glenlivet bottle on there. That could be pretty funny. What do you folks think? Patron. Oh, from our Patreons, or for our patrons, of course. This would actually make a really good reservoir. The bottle has very heavy walls. So we'd have to get a glass drilling bit, but some Patron could actually be really funny, especially as a thank you for the patrons. Tebla asks, could you just twist the wrong size tubing into a helix for the reservoir? Yeah, that is doable. I just am not sure it would. It might not. I think it might look out of place. If this were more of a if this were more of like a mad science theme and had like tubes and things, that could be a pretty interesting option. That could be pretty interesting. Drilling glass is scary, Wiggle 1000, but if you have the right bit, and you keep a steady hand, it's no problem. A fireball reservoir. Oh, that could be interesting. Oh, because of the heat. Here's the question: is there something that would work well for an oscilloscope, for an $18,000 oscilloscope in particular? Could there be anything interesting? Mountain Dew bottle, Will Callaghan. Your head's in the right place. I like it. Let's see. This could be interesting. Not the perfect shape, but I do really like the idea of using liquid cooling in a fireball bottle. Jacques Dagnals. How is a water cooled? Incendium87 says, "How's a water cooled oscilloscope not mad scientist themed?" I'm more talking about like the design language, of it, because it has because like it's all like gold and black and like shiny on matte and very funny. Giant LEDs. Harkeet S. Nagpal. I like the way you think. Trader Joe's wine. Brooke, this is a classy oscilloscope. Aviation gin. Gamer girl bathwater. Yes. 3D print a bottle. You guys really overestimate how watertight you can make a 3D print. Ooh, Balls has a nice bottle. Oh, if you haven't seen this one. I'm not talking about that kind of balls. I'm talking about this kind of balls. This is a classic. Oh man. This does have a really cool bottle. This is an option. It has hacker cred. It has hacker cred. Not quite as relevant. Manischewitz, a Klein bottle. See, unfortunately, you can't use a Klein bottle because it only has one side, and all the coolant will pour out. Lab glassware looks cool and should be obtainable. That could be interesting. Manischewitz. Video idea: making waterproof prints. At some point, we're gonna do that. We could do some Maker's Mark. A Scope mouthwash bottle. Oh boy, not quite as classy, but definitely fits the theme. Oh man. Oh, these are fancy. That's a fancy bottle of mouthwash. Huh.
That's that could be could be an option. Let's bear with me one sec. My the headphones are beeping that they're running out of power, so we're going to. I'm just going to plug these in. Will Callaghan asks, do we do any resin 3D printing? Yes, I was actually on a real resin printing kick, but yeah, I was really on a resin printing kick. But we moved here, and I don't have any way to ventilate it. Before we were in a basement. Oh, that is a giant bottle. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Yeah, before we could just ventilate it into the back room, but now we can't. What's up with this Tesla? People are talking. Segoy and others are talking about a Tesla tequila bottle. Oh, it auto-corrected it for me. That's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna spend $250. I'm not gonna give Elon Musk $250 of my Disney dollars. But this is a pretty cool looking bottle. I'm gonna be honest. Why is Tesla doing tequila again? Pricily. It's pricily. It is quite pricily. The other thing I'm thinking is we'll go to an antique store or a thrift shop and get like a fancy whiskey decanter, and use that. Could eBay a bottle. I'll just drink it. I mean, if we care that much, we could just go to a fancy bar and like raid their dumpster. But no, we'll just get the real thing. Go full Colorado and use a cannabis smoking device. That's an idea. There's some fancy glassware to be had here. Absinthe goes well with RGB, also very fancy. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gravitating towards some kind of single malt or fireball, some kind of whiskey, and we'll make the coolant like whiskey colored. I think that's bartender. Give me your most cylindrical bottle. Veildarg gets it. A light bulb. That sounds smashable. I think this is enough to get us started. Unfortunately, this isn't going to happen today. I just have too much to do. Fancy glassware is to be had here. A mason jar. I do have a mason jar just sitting around. Yeah. All right. We can make this work. I'm not gonna buy a reservoir. I think unless I really have to. We'll try to get creative. This will also give me an opportunity to mount the reservoir. This will also give me an opportunity. All right. There's something else this lets us do that I'm actually really. It's actually got me really excited. So before, right, the reservoir is mounted. Wait, this is in the pump. Let me find my pump. Okay, so before the reservoir, the pump, the inlet for the pump is mounted like dead center in the reservoir, and the problem is that if we're doing this sideways, it's really easy for the water level to drop below the pump, and that can damage it. So if we get to make our own reservoir, we can bring it up high. We can bring it down far below the water level, so that like it'll always work. So we actually get to improve the design here. We actually get to improve our design a little bit, which is nice. I am really salty about this. I have never had a problem. I've never had a problem putting isopropyl on a plastic before. Of course, now is the time to strike. Saint Germain. Yeah, all right, Saint Germain. It does come in a really cool bottle. Take a look at this bottle. This is a sick bottle. I think this one's up there. This is a rad bottle. It is a bit of an awkward size, and I don't know what I'm going to do with an entire bottle of Saint Germain, because it's really only useful in like one drink. But that could be pretty cool. Yes, we need RGB nanobots to put in our coolant so we can have RGB coolant. Invidious
I don't know how to pronounce your name, has the right idea. I wonder if there. You know what? Let's head into. I'm gonna start this on my other monitor because I don't know if it'll break OPSEC. But let's. I'm going to search for. I'm gonna search for a lab supply company, and see if there's a place that sells this stuff. That could be interesting. I just don't know if it'll automatically put my number or my address on the map. Oh, seems like Google Maps is not working. That's great. Yes, let's bear with me one sec. Yeah, so we're somewhere in the greater. Yeah, you know this is too risky. All right, so hopefully we have. Hopefully we'll find something. We'll find something good. Yeah, the Kraken rum bottle is also pretty sweet. Yeah, I think we'll try to get a booze. Try to get a booze bottle. Yeah. Try to get a booze bottle and use that. Well, this is kind of a disappointment. I don't want to have to do. I guess this isn't going to be the last time we do a stream about liquid cooling the oscilloscope. Oh, that's a great idea. Tebla says to look for Signal Hill whiskey. It is a signal. We do want to keep that signal to noise ratio down. Yeah, there are some. Yeah, well, I think a boost bottle is definitely the way to go. That could be pretty funny. All right. So yeah, this kind of threw me for a loop. So we are. Yeah, I didn't expect all this. I thought I really should have test fit the coolant first. I've got a couple suggestions to put quinine in it. I actually have a bottle of fluorescein, like very bright fluorescent chemical, and I'll put a few drops of that in if we want to make it glow. Although we don't have any we don't have any black lights in this, so. Oh, this is pretty cool. It's got the right brand too. Good signal to noise ratio. It's also Canadian. My folks sort of are. I mean, they were. Cole M asks a very, very important question, something that I've grappled with my entire life. If my soul was transferred into a garden gnome, what would I do? No man's business but my own. But my gnome. What would I do? I'd chill with my gnomies. Obviously. Yeah, I still have the place set up for filming like talking head shots for the next episode. It was it takes a lot of work to switch between the two, and I kind of got a bit lazy. But yeah. Yeah, part of the fun. We have to do all this stuff live. So yeah, I think unfortunately we've been screwed in too many different ways, and I don't think the stream can continue along its original trajectory. So unfortunately, I think we'll hang out for a little bit, but I don't think there's any more project to do today. I know it is very it is sad, but unfortunately, sometimes the project screws you. It's the nature of the game. It's the nature of the game. Yeah. So how? Anyone? All right. So like, let's change the subject for real quick. What project? So like, we have a bit of a long weekend here in America. It's Memorial Day, I've been reminded, so folks get a day off of work. School's coming to a close too. All the schools in this area are coming out. So, what projects are you guys going to work on? What interesting stuff
What interesting stuff do you guys have in the works? What are you going to discover that you have the wrong size materials for this weekend? Tevla is going to print something very nice. Let's see, Techno Reviewer. No, oh no, we're not going to put a hamster in our liquid cooling system. That doesn't help anyone. What kind of projects are you folks working on? Because I hope I've been inspiring you to make your stuff. Evelyn, I'm working on the fun project of waiting for AliExpress to show up. This is why I don't. This is why I don't really order from abroad unless it's absolutely necessary. Peter Sassaman, you're assembling more Smell-O-Visions. Are you being serious, or are you just goofing? Because I am very curious if you are actually building that. Let's see. Phil Upson, I was planning on gardening until vaccine gave me a dead arm. Yeah, the vaccine really wore my arm out. It only lasted a couple of days though, so you might still get a little gardening done. H4 is building a small VFD clock on the bench. I actually have a VFD clock here. Yeah. It's really cool, but it flickers in camera, so I've had it off forever. And also it'll break continuity if you can see the time jumping around. Yeah, VFD clocks are sick. Yeah, there's a new supply of them because there was this huge box of the number tubes discovered in some warehouse somewhere. Dot to the Lock is 3D printing a hydroponic system for his peppers. Very nice. I have a hydroponic system from the old place that I'm just waiting on a good time to remake. Yeah. Hydroponics are cool. I like watching the plants grow. I like watching the trickling water and all that good stuff. Landon Beckman says, I want to 3D print something. I need to decide what, though. Well, could I recommend you visit our sponsor, Things? Use the link in the description to check out their huge library of 3D printable and 3D modelable doohickeys of all shapes and sizes. You can use their preview function to quickly see what your print is going to look like, and you can use their brand new augmented reality to visualize it right where it's supposed to be. Thanks a lot to Things for sponsoring the stream and for enabling me to do that buttery smooth segue. And yeah, if you feel like going on Things, all of my stuff is there. Just head to the use the link in the description. Yeah. But let's see. Let's see what else everyone's running is building. Jesse Bratton wants me to do more sautéing. When the project calls for it, we will. We certainly will. Let's take a look at a couple more. Aerorator is going to learn some TensorFlow. It doesn't have room to make physical projects. It's a lot easier than it seems from the outset. It's a lot easier to get set up. I was really surprised. Yeah, a lot quicker and easier. I would recommend using Keras instead of trying to jump directly into like full on TensorFlow because it handles a lot of the work. Handles a lot of the work for us. I thought Keras with TensorFlow is super easy to set up. The hard part is building a utility to gather all the training data, assuming you're not using pre-made training data from the internet. Sarah O'Miller is building a Mechanim drive camera robot controllable over the internet. I like my robots how I like my women, capable of strafing. That's a pretty cool robot. All right, so what are you gonna do? Are you gonna use it to like mess around with your pets, snoop around the apartment when you're at work? Oh, whoa! Super Kartoffel says I'm writing a UI to configure the animations of the Chromance. That's awesome. I've wanted to do something like that forever, or not forever because the project's not that old, but I've wanted to do something like that since I came up with the project, and that's just way too time consuming. So that would be totally awesome. Yeah. Oh, that would rule. Oh man, glad everyone's working on some projects. Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing to spend a long weekend on because you have that. You can do that weekend project, but then if it runs over, you got that extra day. Oh man. Sarah O'Miller says for a teammate interaction. Oh, it's for telepresence. That's cool. I have like
That's awesome. Oh man, we got so many cool projects going on here. Oh no, Matt Bray says I'm making a NASA logo wall sign with lighting based on the Chromance, but my source code is scary. Yeah, I put more time than usual into documenting that project, but the code still needs a little work. Well, it's really nice to hear all these awesome projects that folks are working on. My weekend project is finishing up the video on the Singularitron, and I guess we're going to take a little trip to Micro Center to finish up to finish this project up. Maybe we'll try to make that Monday's project. Cole M asked, "What's my opinion on Blender?" I briefly used it, and then I played around with that UI, and I noped all the way out of there. That is, the learning curve on 3D modeling software is already high, or is already steep, but that one is just over the top. Man, what a project. I don't really make a lot of sculptural stuff. I mostly make dimensionally accurate engineering models. So I haven't had a need for it, but I think if I need, I don't know. Maybe we'll try it again. Kevin wants me to film the Micro Center shopping. Aren't haul videos kind of played out? I feel like people would. I feel like folks would not be interested in that. Evelyn's asked, "Do you like Bluetooth or you anti-wireless?" I don't really trust wireless stuff. I also have ADHD and I'm very forgetful and disorganized, and I will guaranteed forget to charge it. So I don't. I think it's too unreliable. Well. I would totally love to transfer this over to a. So here's another reason why YouTube streaming. Here's reason 8,946 why YouTube streaming sucks. But if this were Twitch, I could just end the stream, pick it up on my phone, and we could drive to Micro Center. But I would have to figure. But that you can't hand off a stream in YouTube. As soon as the stream ends. If I try to stream from a different device, even with the same stream key, it won't work. So, unfortunately, we can't do that. Alas. Also, Also on YouTube, you have to stream. On YouTube, you only have, if the stream dies, you only have about 15 seconds to bring it back, or it ends it. And I would have I can't show you the whole trip, because then you'd know where I live, and we have to maintain OPSEC. So yeah, so I think it's about time to wind down the stream. Unfortunately, today's project ended in a bust. Nature of the game, it happens. We are going to pick this up, hopefully on Monday. Might end up being next Friday. But we do have some really interesting stuff going on. This Wednesday, you can join us on our Discord. This Wednesday, you can join us on our Discord for our very first. We're doing a little bit of a podcast thing. We're trying out the stage demo. We're trying out the stages feature in Discord and recording a bit of a podcast. We've got Bot Grinder FPV and Lord Helix from the Cyberdeck community, and we're going to be talking about cyberpunk projects. So we're going to be there for an hour Wednesday, again at noon. I think at noon. More details will be put in the Discord soon. But yeah, if you're interested in a really fun conversation, that's going to be really neat. Yeah, it's going to be all cyberpunk themed. We're going to be talking about drones, cyberdecks, hacking. Lord Helix is an actual hacker, who does security penetration. Yeah, that's going to be a blast. And then we're doing another one the following Wednesday, and another one the following Wednesday. So this coming Wednesday, you can join us on our Discord. We're going to be talking about cyberpunk. The next week, we're going to have Odd J and Nye Mechworks. We're going to be talking about wearables and robots. At the same time. And then the next week, we're bringing in Geeky Faye and Caracat, and we're talking about making art. We're talking about making art with technology, because that's something I don't know anything about. I don't have a single artistic bone in my body, so I recruited some friends. yeah, so we got that coming up, and yeah, we're going to be doing more streams every Monday, every Friday. If I, some of the projects will happen, some of the projects won't. Not everyone is going to involve projects. In this coming month, we have some streams coming up for 3D print, where we're going to be checking out checking out a couple of new 3D printers, and even a laser engraver. It's all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah. If you want to watch any replays of this or past streams, all of that is on my Patreon. Yeah, all that is on my Patreon. If you don't have, otherwise, like, you can just copy and paste the link. You can just copy and paste the URL for the stream. I'm unlisting it. I'm not making it private. But if you want access to all the back catalog, support, and you'd like to support the channel, please feel free to visit patreon.com/Zack Freedman. Thank you so much for joining me. It's too bad that it ended the way it did, but it's the nature of the game. I will see all of you and more on Monday, where we will take revenge, hopefully, on this project and finish it up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the future. Oh wait! We got somebody came in with a last second super chat, ruining my perfect sign off. Mr. JJ Powerbank, thanks so much for the. I really wish it told me what these abbreviations were. Assemble a quelled spot welder. I don't know what that means. Oh, hey, it's my brother. Micah's in the chat. He wants me to do a hair care tutorial. Well, it's too late for that. Thanks a lot. I'll see all of you folks on Monday.